Oh,
How's the
dude, shut up.
Could I initiated the
how's the volume in your headphones? Too loud, too quiet?
good, bro?
Nice.
It's cool.
All right, how we looking, Marcus? Everything good? All right, cool. Dude. Yo, thanks for bringing that tequila, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I thought it would be like a cool gift, you know.
You
guys invited me on. I was like, I actually felt accomplished, you know, saying, hey, I have something cool to talk about maybe. And I was like, why not bring some, you know, a gift that goes a long ways, I guess, especially during these times.
It's already gone a long ways.
Yeah.
Huge way to set the tone. You really set the tone for this podcast.
I brought in the different, like, here's the vibe we're bringing. Here's a guy with a Corona shirt and some tequila. And I'm like,
all right, let's get on to that. When you walked up the stairs, we were all rolling out and like on the second floor of our little platform, and you just strolled in with this bright jersey, and I was like, oh, he's repping like the San Diego Chargers or something like that.
LT.
And, yeah, LT. And then he pops up, Corona, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Full-on jersey. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just my uncle had it, and my brother brought it home, and I'm like, no way. It was literally during these times, too. I don't know. He gave it away. Maybe he felt uncomfortable wearing it around now. Like, Corona literally took a hit, the actual beer. So I was like, I want to wear it. And then I want to wear it here. And I'm like, let's see what the boys said. And then you guys were hyped about it. So
it's a family heirloom.
It worked out.
Do you think he thought it had like bad juju, like it just gave him bad vibes having the Corona jersey in his house?
I think, yeah. I mean, gave millions of Americans, too. And they're like, yeah, I'm not going to buy this beer. I'm going to get the virus.
Are they still struggling now? I can't imagine they are. Like all of liquor sales are up 55%.
I think Corona might still be, but liquor sales, no.
Right.
Because clearly, like, there's a purchase right there that is from
there you go.
Helping out.
Here, and the other thing, too, like, Corona jokes, kind of over with them, you know?
Yeah.
Not really trying to make any more Corona jokes.
Yeah. It's like, and
I mean,
it's
sure, it's great.
like, it's almost like a norm now.
It is a norm, right? 40-some days into quarantine now. It's
we're like people thought we were gonna be done and back on the streets working again by kind of this time, you know, but then, yeah,
it's crazy, and now it's people are getting comfortable with it, and like come May 1, states are opening up stuff.
That's what I'm nervous about, to be honest.
It's nerve-wracking because like, you know, everything gets opened back up, and people are thinking, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. Like they just think it's gone now. No. I mean, it doesn't disappear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What is your vibe on that? Do you like?
I do have a vibe on this. I've been tracking. I was thinking about this on my way here actually. There will for sure be like when everything opens back up and the government says like we no longer have to social distance. Let's go back to work type thing. Like there's gonna be a group of people that are like this tribal social distancing warriors, and I don't know what we call them. Maybe the SDWs, the social distancing warriors. You know, like the people that even though it's legal to touch each other again, there's gonna be someone in our ear, probably just on Twitter or anywhere, that's gonna yell at us for not social distancing. So I think that's up. That's what's coming. That's my vibe on it.
Do you think this virus is like something that we have tamed down yet, or do you think it's still spreading like as fast? So if we do open back up, we're gonna see the numbers spike, or like what's your vibe on that? Because like there's news out there telling you exactly what's going on, but what is true, what is not? You know, what is
the numbers?
What are the numbers?
Really
what are the numbers saying?
So like there's a lot of weird numbers too. Like if a guy had the corona, like this is actually true. They're writing it. If you had coronavirus, healed from it, but then died from a heart attack later, they mark it down as a corona death. Yeah, I was talking to a nurse about it too. So like the facts are like, you know, it's kind of it's kind of factual. Like I'm still like iffy if it's true. I heard it from my other friend too. He's like, yeah, they're adjusting the numbers a little bit. I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, I'm not gonna focus on that, but it's like something to, you know, think about too.
Yeah. So they're fudging the numbers.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Here's what we don't do here at Backpocket Corp. You know, we don't fudge the numbers. Yeah. We'll let you know how many downloads this gets, you know. We're not going to fudge it. No way.
Authentic.
No way, no how.
Yeah, we're very transparent when it comes to the corp, you know. But that is kind of interesting. I wonder, like...
The second wave is what I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because you keep hearing there's going to be a second wave and then a third wave. Second wave is supposed to be a little more significant, potentially. Then the third wave is going to hit, but it's not going to be as severe. That's what I mean. That's what, again, I'm reading.
Yeah.
And how is that going to work? What is the second wave going to look like? When is it going to hit? Is it going to be because we're opening things back up, and just because of that, that's the cause and effect? And at some point, I feel like you got to pick up the curve a little bit to then diminish it again. else we're just going to be in this for a too long of period where then the economy is hurting for too long. But it's all a give and take. I have no idea the right way to do it. I'm just trying to.
I know. I think you bring up a good point with like the economy part of it. Like the economy can only suffer for so long, and
Like,
that's why. That's why like Trump and all these other different people are just like, hey, we gotta force the issue to get the economy back, because if we keep this on for any longer, talk about numbers, how many more people are gonna be totally out of a job, totally out of money, and not have anywhere to go in like 2 weeks,
Mhm.
right? Like, would you rather have that, or would you rather have people go back to work and, you know, a certain amount of people get coronavirus, you know?
Right. And then you could sue restaurants for if corona gets caught in there. Like that's like I read today, like businesses are super afraid to open back up because if someone catches coronavirus in their establishment, then they might get sued, and where's the protection on their end? I don't know. But you go onto Facebook, and it's just mayhem. You have the polarizing sides of like what you're just talking about, like the social distancing
Warriors,
people. Warriors,
I kind of like that name.
Yeah, love it. And then you have the people on the other side, like get the businesses back up and running, and it's just people going at it. And that's only on Facebook. You go on to Twitter, and you're just seeing memes and like some one-off news reports and some random stuff. And Instagram's just still pictures of like professional people looking
Of
great.
girls, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just girls' back doors, and
And then you
everything
go on to
still.
TikTok, and that's where you really unpack the juices.
And that's where you find Jackson Hole, our guest today.
Viral.
Viral sensation. Is that fair to say that you're a viral TikTok sensation?
Like close. Like I've been asking my little sister. She she's more around the age of all the people that are watching TikTok. So I'm like, what is famous? Like when am I TikTok famous? A lot of people now are saying like my little sister literally just her brother or one of her friends the other day was just like, hey, like your brother's famous. That's kind of cool. And I'm like, what, famous? Yeah, he's TikTok famous. So I guess Come back to your point. I would say I'm close, but in my eyes, like 200,000 followers, I think that's a cool mark, and I think that's when you start going from like 200 to 500, 500 to a million. That's like the picture I have of goals. So I would say when I'm to 200,000, that would be like what I can accept. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty famous on this app.
Okay.
But like right now, it's just like I have a few videos that popped off, funny ones. I'm trying to get comfortable with the camera. Like
You ripped your shorts on one of them.
I was just walking around, and one of my buddies came up with a car, and I was like, I'm gonna hold on. And there's a car behind us, so I was just like, we couldn't get it. I couldn't grab anything. He had an Audi SUV, so I couldn't grab anything. Didn't have the windows down. I'm not gonna hold on to a mirror. It's gonna rip off. Things like that. Finally, when he rolled down the window, I went to grab onto it, and this dude just like, it's a quick little car. It's an Audi. Floors it. Ends up taking out my left leg, so my left side rolls over the car. So I say I got hit by a car, but my left rollerblade got rolled over by tires, and then I went down. This is where I slid, and this is where I was trying. My goal from the start of this video, I was
Because you're
make,
rollerblading.
Yeah, this goal from the start of what this video I'm trying to make, it was rollerblade around my White Bear Lake, just down the road, like rollerblade around it. I didn't think I was gonna crash or anything. 15 minutes in, I'm already eating it, and that's where ripped the shorts. Got some boo-boos here, and then, but at the end,
I love that you brought back boo-boos, dude. I haven't heard that in years.
My vocabulary is very, very vague and interesting and unique, I guess.
Yeah, it's unique.
But anyways, that video ended up going viral off of like me getting hurt.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I remember
I didn't mean to do any of it, but like
no. Well, that's the thing. I
just had fun with it. I kept the positive attitude. I was pissed off because my rollerblade was messed up. It was bent because it literally got ran over by. So then there's a plastic piece, and it literally looked like this. My foot's down, so now I can feel this plastic piece. My whole rollerblade feels all goofy. Ended up being like, here's parallel. It ended up being like this the whole time, and I was like, dude, I just started, and now my goal is this. I was like, man, what's the best way to do it? How to get by it? Just positive attitude, and that's where people like notice that on TikTok too. I mean, I just try to go, just kept moving basically, just kept moving forward.
Good vibes only.
Yeah, just because I could look at that in a totally different way, and my whole day is ruined, But it was a beautiful day. I fell. I'm dirty. It doesn't hurt yet because my adrenaline's pumping. I'm like, we got to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Started to hurt towards the end, but it's like, hey, we made it. And then,
So your whole foot got ran over by a car,
yeah, it like broke. Yeah, my rollerblade broke
and because of the
broke.
rollerblade, it didn't like create enough impact to like break your
to
ankle.
break my ankle. Yeah,
Jesus.
Wow. Are you serious?
yeah, because
How
like
frightening was that?
it goes too fast. Went by
Adrenaline.
too fast.
Yeah.
I raced dirt bike. I fell. I've done all those crazy like jumping over stuff,
Caught
jumping.
touchdowns at St. Thomas.
Sure. Yeah, that's more like
That's chill.
yeah, that's more chill because it's not as
You're just
adrenaline
running past
junking,
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of controlled too. You got refs, and when it comes to like holding the side of the car with rollerblades on, that you don't really have a ref there, to
No
guide you,
chance.
no guiding. Yeah,
That is the opposite of controlled chaos.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
but yeah, just ran over. It's just interesting.
So
I
what's
mean,
it-
made a video out of it though. That's the one positive thing, is that a video came out of it. It's the one positive thing I look at it. If I didn't capture it, I would have probably been a little bit more pissed off.
Did you have a camera in your hand, or was someone filming
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I had my phone in my hand, so when I fell, I
Facing you?
I kept my phone up. I never actually captured when I ate it, but yeah, I just had my phone in my hand and I just kept it away from the ground. I've kind of learned how to fall with motocross, diving, and whatnot. Like, keep your head up, flex your abs. Like, don't bang your head. You ever see people fall?
Yeah.
And they just their
Boom.
head just boom,
Whiplash.
and you're just like, just keep your stomach tight when you fall. Just know that you're about to impact something.
engage your core for once.
Engage your core.
Mm-hmm.
I did
might,
the same
you might
thing.
have a better ending,
Oh, yeah.
out of a situation that, was not expected. Because that was totally not expected. And all of a sudden I'm down and I'm dragging. I'm literally going across and this is in the back roads too. So it was bumpy. It was no pavement. The pavement was, you ever see the pavement when they just fill in just little cracks with tar and then just
Yeah,
keep filling it
the
in?
shit pavement?
Yeah. It's literally what it was with rocks on it.
Damn.
So I
Holy
mean,
shit.
but then I was like, all right, like stay slitting. And then like I slid so far that's when like it slipped up, and then that's where I
Ripped your
got the
pants.
road rash. Otherwise than that, I was clean. Like I didn't get any injured until like I
Couple boo-boos.
leaned over to the left, and that's where
Yeah. That's when the boo boos start coming in.
and then a car drives by, and you're just like. She's all pissed off because she saw everything.
Oh,
She's probably not gonna feel bad for me because I'm initiating the
yeah, she thinks you're a knucklehead.
yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Did I miss that part of the story where you just grabbed onto a random car?
No, it was my brother's friends driving his friend home, and I
Okay, that
just
makes
saw them right before I was leaving my house, and then all of a sudden I see them again. I'm like, hell yeah, hold on, and then he floors it. Just a 16-year-old driving. That's what I should have told. 16-year-old learning how to not learning how to drive, but
He's got his permit.
yeah, basically, and he's got a quick foot, lead foot. Usually they have when you're 16. I mean,
Yeah,
I had
brick
one.
foot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you try to do that, when I'm holding on, just down the road, and then I'm out the back.
That's a
and
really good point. If it was a 21-year-old driver, I think you would be no boo boos, to be honest.
Yeah,
if I'm really thinking hard and long about the scenario, but
because I literally did it a couple days before with a truck, so I grabbed on the back. I went up. They took me up a hill because I was watching the sunset, and then I was like, "Hey, can you?" I knew them. I was like, "Hey, can you drive me up the hill?" Grabbed on, super easy. Like I even went behind the tailgate and hid down, and they thought I left. And then I pop out and I'm zooming down by them because they went on the main road, and then there I go.
There you go.
They're 20, 19 years
Right.
old.
sounded a little more.
So I was
experienced,
confident already, right?
Right.
Now I'm confident to do it again.
Right.
Would you do it again now?
Oh yeah, just give me someone older than
Yeah.
16.
17, 18, what are we thinking? Has to be able to vote in order to drive you for TikTok.
You have
videos.
to drive on the highway for quite a bit before you can
Yeah,
really
show me your
feel-
driving logs.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me your State Farm driving logs. How fast do you hit the brakes and pull up? Yeah.
And then I'll grab onto your car to record my TikTok.
They have to have it
God,
ready.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it? So you obviously know what it's like to go viral. What's it like to put a shit ton of effort into a video and then have it get 1,000 views?
Humbling, because then you look at it and you're like, damn, that one didn't do well. Let's keep going. Let's try another one.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, you see this all the time on TikTok. 4 hours, 17 hours to edit, and they got 100 to 2,000 views maybe. And it's a guy jumping up, and each frame is moving. and his shirts are
yeah,
changing,
yeah.
and he's standing. Like, I mean, it's gonna take a long time. Not really the audience is what they're looking for, to like, but like that still took a long time. So it's almost like if you figure out the audience, how they capture it and how they, then it feels kind of good. But in the end, like when you put time into a video and it doesn't go viral, like some of the shots ones when I threw it from 100 feet like a ball and it went in. Like I thought it was gonna go a little bit more viral than that, but I just look at it and you're like, all right, on to the next goofy video, on to the next one, on to the next one. Because as long as you keep posting, you never know what's gonna go. I didn't know that this me falling and saying GG's in the chat was gonna get all these little kids to type GG's in my comments. Over 1,000 comments, and a lot of them are GG's probably.
All GG. Good game.
Good game is what it means. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them. And I didn't know that, I had a video before kind of pop off when I said GG's.
Was that the one with the fire?
Yeah.
That one's hilarious, dude. You went to go put out a fire that was just kind of like, it was a couple smokes. Like, it was basically like a candle.
It was
like
so
lit.
controlled, too, and
Yeah.
it's by the lake,
And
too.
you're just like kicking at this log, thinking you're telling everyone you're like Smokey the Bear, like putting out a fire.
Yeah.
And then at one point you just like looked over the camera and you go, GG's in the chat. And then I looked in the chat and you got 50 GG's in the chat. I'm like, oh my, people love this.
Yeah, dude, it's wild, too. It's like, once you find like that's what I'm talking about. You find something that the audience likes to do or watch or like, and then they all just spam it and they get your algorithm going and your video starts going faster and popping off.
Yep.
So that's why I tried again with this last when I fell, because I was like, hey, GG's in the chat for all the dudes that helped me get through this, because this was ass, because I fell at the beginning. So like worked out 500, like we're almost at 6K views,
Yeah.
140,000 likes, kind of pretty fun. But there's some other ones, like like back to your question about how do you feel. There's some other ones that I put time into, and it's like there's one there. I jump in the air. It's like a beat that goes boom, 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 and then like kind of explodes and whatnot. So it's an epic beat. So then you do like you put in like little tiles of words. So first it says like, the video I made basically was a video that had me saying, put away your phone, or give me your phone, because there's like words that your parents never like to hear, or words that you don't like to hear from your parents. Give me your phone. So it's like, give me your phone, and I jumped up, and it's all slow-mo, kind of looks cool. It took me a long time, because then my dog was there. So I outlined my dog in this. You can do it in Adobe After Effects. You can start drawing. You can literally draw on people. A guy, if for example, you should look it up. It's called Blotter Media. He does dancing, but he does videos of dancing, people dancing, but then he draws different things on the screen. So while you're watching it, it's like highlighted, moving, like lines, but they create characters out of it.
Yeah.
So what I did was just outline my dog, which would look really cool. Spent 2 days on it. Maybe I posted it twice, trying to see if it worked. Like 1,000 views, 200 views, 2,000 views. Sorry.
No, that happens to us all the time. I mean, we post a TikTok every day.
Yeah.
And the original intention behind it was like, okay, we post one every day. We're gonna start to learn and figure out how this freaking app works and
What's going on?
And that consistency has definitely paid off. And not only has it done that, but it's just like given us this Rolodex of content that we can put everywhere. So like, if it doesn't do well on TikTok, I'll go ahead and, because I think it's funny, I'll go ahead and post it on Instagram, and it'll get like 7,000 views. And like for an Instagram video from Backpocket to get 7,000 views is like asinine. Yeah. We've had that kind of things happen. We've had like my Twitter.
That's a lot of views for Instagram, because like I maybe got 300, and that was all my followers.
Yeah.
And that it was me doing like a cool video and like doing dirt bikes, and then so like, and it's weird, the algorithm is way different than TikTok. Like you post it on Instagram, you're getting 7,000. When you post it on TikTok, you get 100.
It's a totally different audience.
But it's like
too.
the audience that it's like these who's the main people looking at this? It's these young 17, 18-year-old kids.
And they don't give a shit about you unless
they like girls.
You make them funny.
They like girls. I mean, girls like guys. They like to see dancing. The TikTok.
You just say girls like guys, guys like girls.
Basically,
then you said they like dancing.
They like dancing,
and that's how you explain TikTok.
And that's how I explained what TikTok is.
Bam. All right, we'll send that. We'll post that on LinkedIn. Perfect. That'll work.
That's fucking.
But yeah, that is nuts, man. Like, I was thinking about how, uh, like when you started getting into like really putting yourself out there. It was right around February, maybe January of 2019, and we had Yoakum on the podcast for the first time, and he was blowing us away. But in the midst of that, he was like, "You guys should have Jackson Hole on the podcast because he's been doing these daily lessons every single day on his Instagram, and like it's just popping off." Sure as hell after that, it was then TikTok, and then like we have your old roommate who's our roommate now, Matt Heron, saying
Love him, beauty.
he was like, "Have you guys seen Jackson Hole? Like he's supposedly like TikTok famous, You hear the rumblings, but dude, your progression has been really cool. And not only that, but now we get to like work with you. And I'll say it, the stuff that you've shot for us, whether it's Embrace North or the workout we did with Sophie, like all that stuff, all that footage, and all the stuff you're creating right now is just off the charts, man.
Thanks. I really appreciate hearing that because it's cool because I only see that, and I think people are seeing that, or I don't know if people are seeing that. So once I get a feedback from that, you're like, and I'm receiving it from someone else's voice instead of me just trying to keep myself up the whole time saying I'm doing something good. People are enjoying it, like all of those videos in what I started. Like I wasn't feeling comfortable with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I kept posting, and I had no idea, like what you just like Matt Heron saying, look at this guy's going famous. Like Yoakum, when I went and played softball with him, and like this guy just makes videos, and that was just right when TikTok was I was starting TikTok.
Yeah,
it was like one of my first videos.
Home run.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
I was getting I was trying to get comfortable in making like the videos, and that's like, it's cool how now I get to hear it from. I really appreciate you telling me that because now I get to actually say like, hey, this is like, it's actually going on. People are noticing. Like, it's not just me trying to keep myself up the whole time. Like, people appreciate it. Keep posting it. Because after a while, when I was posting the lessons of the day, I mean, I just kind of like was playing too many video games maybe and wasn't learning things every single day to come out with more content. Like, I think that's could have been it. But
love the accountability, dude.
That's such good honesty.
But like, it ended up dropping off, and that's when like TikTok. I was listening to Gary Vee, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta start posting on here."
Mm-hmm.
But in the cool progression, I love how you brought that up. Did you ever see the videos of my progression? Do you ever look at the first one on Instagram story?
No,
and
we can put it up
next time you watch that. Just look at the comfortability I get. I start like, side of the face, a camera. Like you don't put your full face in the camera. Like I'm not as energized. I'm just quiet, trying to remember.
Super serious,
it.
peeking in there.
Yeah, trying to. So then, but then once I kept going down and getting more comfortable in the camera, it's you can see the progression into like, what you see now on TikTok is good, but that's something that is my average quality, is being in front of the camera. Right. Because if you look at Instagram, I was awkward, and I did not want to be in the front of the camera. But I was like, we got to try something. I'll just like, screw it. Let's do it. I love teaching people about things. My mom, I think sometimes gets overwhelmed when I'm coming upstairs and I'm telling her new things. Like every single day. It's like, I got to start telling other people this instead of my mom or my sister. Like, I got to start posting it. And it's like, but, I'm kind of uncomfortable in front of a camera. Like you can, if you look at the camera and you're like, you can see just a different face. Like you can tell that the dude's not like, where's your energy?
He's not having fun.
Yeah. Where is it? Like
lights on, no one's home.
Give me something. Yeah. So that's where it's like, I started at that and then I was like, bro, I got to figure it out. And then, the progression slowly, but as of now, still, when a camera's not putting on me, I'm trying to be quick with it, trying to, have a clip that's only going to be someone just threw out their phone, right, quickly, and then captured it. You want to like try to be interpretive and be able to give something quickly, but not overwhelming. Like that's what I'm still trying to work on, is how to get a quick clip and be able to have it something that's worthy of post-production and posting it later. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times like that post-production takes a long ass time to post or to edit. And it takes a long time, like grinding hours. And it's like the one thing I noticed is if you have a clip that doesn't need much editing, besides maybe some warp stabilizer because you're shaking the phone or something like that, and then you can post it quicker out onto the social media platform and then have people see it instead of you making the video. Like, for example, when I drone, I go drone, make the video, capture nasty footage.
Oh yeah, we can confirm.
I go home. I don't do anything with it. My drone usually sometimes stays in my car. I don't put my SD card because that's another step to, getting the content going. I usually hop on my computer and now I'm
Takes a
playing
lot
video
more time.
games. Yeah, I'm playing video games. I'm not prioritizing my time or like what I should be doing, what my accountability type of deal. But what I should be doing. But when it came to TikTok, you can literally make with this, and now you can do adjusting. You can adjust the time frames. So like transitions are smoother now. You can delete clips later. You can move clips. So if you miss, like for example, if I miss, we made that chicken house, that chicken coop the other day.
Yeah.
I forgot to say, and this is video 5. I forgot to say that in the beginning. And I was like, fuck. The old podcast or the old TikTok, you would have to delete everything back up to where you wanted that to be said. So I would have to delete the whole video. But no, I got this time I'm able to say it and then move it to the front. So that's where it's like how TikTok has brought it so you can post stuff really quickly and have it look good, and there's words on there, and if you do want to go extra you can. But like that's the cool thing about how this is going, and that's the route like I see myself taking towards the future.
So you really do enjoy like editing and operating in TikTok? Because
I think that's my passion, but I'm not prioritizing it. I'm playing video games, bro.
Well, I mean, like
that's bad. Help me out. I need some help. Like actually, I need some else to hold me accountable because, dude, I am a gamer. Like I don't look like one, but ever since I was young,
bro, you look like a gamer. Come on.
Ever since I was young, love games, bro. Like, love video games.
Bro, you look elite. Well, we were just talking offline, like how we're like the TikTok audience is also a Twitch audience, if you will. Like people can utilize both audiences and pivot them both back and forth.
Yeah.
You're only helping your brand.
Yeah.
And you just articulated for the last couple minutes here about how you are being more comfortable with being you. Like you are now more comfortable just looking at yourself, looking in the camera and being you. You don't have to like put on this facade. You don't feel like you have to put on this facade. And that's what it's all about. When you start just like looking in the camera and you just rip off 3 sentences and it's just you, that's going to work way more than you going on there like pretending you have a suit and tie and trying to like perform. That never works.
And it takes longer too.
Yeah.
Right. And it takes way longer too. It's you can't just post something out there. You know, like for example, I want to get good at it because when I recorded you guys working out, bro, those are all action pack. You got to come in clutch type of clips. Like you got to make sure that you're getting a good clip. For example, when he's hauling ass and I'm trying to catch him, I got to make sure that when I get close to him, I keep the whole camera in frame. You know, that's my focus on because like that moment was then and there. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you're not gonna ask Andrew, "Hey man, can you go ahead and dust everyone?"
Because remember when we tried to do it again?
Yeah.
Remember when we tried to do it again? It just took a little time. It took a little bit. Like,
and our legs were gassed. And, it just takes more preparation. But that video is just a microcosm of how fluid you are with a camera, because like we got so much feedback as of like how smooth it was and how they didn't even think you were like running, right? It was so smooth that people were looking at it and not realizing how hard you worked to capture that moment because you made it look so easy. They don't understand like that was like super focused balance of just keeping your arm locked into the center of us.
And I'm passing you too, right? Remember, I'm gonna cross you. I'm on rollerblades going like 15 maybe. How fast do you think you're running?
Andrew was going about 13, and you were going about 17.
So like, but when I cross him, I want to make sure that I cross him and still get in the frame.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what's to my right. I don't know if I'm gonna hit like a person or something, you know. But then, like, I mean, no one was there. It was perfect. It was fine. I could have, finished out maybe a little bit more. But anyways, like, that's what I want to try to perform and be the best at, because I think that the most important thing about wanting to post content and getting it out there. People will want to do that stuff, for example, like me, but like that time you take to edit and everything and have a video not pop off like you wanted it to.
Yeah.
And now you just not wasted, but now you're vibing with you're like, damn, I just took 7 hours to do that. I could have made 5 different videos on TikTok instead, Well, like how do you utilize your time like wisely.
Effectively.
and
Yeah, no,
effectively,
Andrew and I used to run in and still do run into that situation all the time where, we were recording 3 podcasts a week. We were chopping up every single podcast into funny moments and posting 3 videos per podcast per week. So that was 9 total posts per week that we were editing full time in Premiere. It took us like 8 hours to produce one single podcast between the two of us. But then once, to your point, with this whole TikTok movement coming into this year, and then us finding guys like Marcus who are, very passionate in videography, photography, and editing, like finding those outlets. Now we're coaching Marcus up on how to make the quick podcast videos, which Marcus, you put out a phenomenal video with Alex Fenner. Congratulations, dude. You've now reached level 2.
Well, thank you.
That's good.
Good stuff.
You
but
beat
like,
boss.
Good.
you beat the bot. Yeah, you beat the what would it be? Well, I don't even know. You beat Premiere Pro level 1. So good for you. That's absolutely awesome. We're progressing.
You gotta.
And I just think it's just really cool how what you brought up about TikTok and how you can capture the content and post it, make it look good in between, and spend 30 minutes on something that's just authentic in you versus the drone, the DSLR, all this. It's like, dude, we have 4K, 30, 60, anything we want on our iPhones. Never have to deal with airdropping, putting it on to Premiere Pro, making sure you have the right sequence settings, and like, dude, I'm telling you right now, when I edited, like, editing iPhone footage, still trying to figure that out in Premiere Pro without having it chop. I mean, my computer's decent.
There's something.
There's just so many.
No, I know exactly what you're talking
obstacles,
about. There's something about the iPhone where you put it in and you click render, and then all of a sudden you render it, and then it like squishes. It's like this big, and I'm like, what? Where'd that video just go? Like,
Right.
And
It's not the
just
same.
it's not the same. It's something that like you have to look online. Now you're searching online. You're like kind of heated. You can't find the answer. You're like, it's like
You're watching another
It's a
YouTube
total
tutorial.
process.
and it's time. While this TikTok algorithm and everything about it is just it's cool. It's something that I want. When I started the Instagram stories, it's something that I was like, wow, this is actually a platform where I can do this. Exactly what I wanted to do without having to take the time to put it on YouTube.
Yes.
And I can also build an audience where this audience will then be sent out to YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
to TikTok, or to Twitch, to Instagram, where I can direct them saying, hey, check out this. But like, this is the fastest way I could produce footage and content to get out there that I enjoyed and I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality too doesn't necessarily have to be
No.
insane. Like the video of Andrew running and just gassing everyone, just really opening it up on that Saturday that you recorded. Like, I mean, it's got like 20,000 views right now. It's fucking crushing.
Yeah, and
At
no one,
720p, just like
720 exactly.
yeah.
No one sees the airdrop video that I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
No one sees that. When people look at that, they're like, holy, like, it is 4K. It is crisp.
Yeah.
But then that's where like TikTok, I'm trying to
Dresses it
figure
up a
out.
little
It
bit.
dresses it up. It
Yeah.
also doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It
no.
really doesn't matter. It's just what really they cared about was how I captured it with the rollerblades and a gimbal and just
the
going by.
creativity,
Mhm.
the
Goofy-
what you wanted to
Yeah,
do.
goofy dude on a rollerblade saying this looks absolutely sick, and look how cool it looks when he's running by the side. Oh, I got that from David Goggins. Like
Mm-hmm.
different
Right.
things like that.
Right,
Like
right,
you
right.
take let's try it, put a little unique twist on it.
Right.
And I started doing rollerblades, and I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, to be honest, that was probably like maybe the 5th or 6th time I've ever done rollerblades and recorded like that, and an actual people doing it. Last time was when I did a skate video of these dudes doing skate. That was when that was like the first time I've ever captured someone
You were
on rollerblades.
hauling, dude. You were hauling.
when I caught you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just in general that whole day. You're just moving.
That's why if you put it in perspective back to the story where I fell and my rollerblades all fucked up, you know how much fun I had when I was doing that with you guys? Imagine like you're breaking your tool that or your
Need.
equipment,
Mhm.
you need to feel comfortable with to be able to get the shots because you're on 4 wheels on each side, and you're moving, you're fast.
Yeah.
So that's when I broke it. I was like, now you put that in perspective, you're like, damn, this dude
That's your
must have been
baby,
pissed
dude.
off. Yeah, this
That's your
dude
baby.
must have been pissed off.
Right. I like
And
how
now
you
it-
just justified your anger. That's
Yeah,
really good.
and now he has to finish out maybe 10 more miles of rollerblading.
Because you're
It doesn't
halfway
have
around
to.
the
You
lake.
like chose to.
Yeah, chose
Like you
to.
could have just gone home and been like,
Exactly.
Ah, man,
that's
that
where
sucks.
that's where my attitude was like, man, let's capture it. Let's show these guys that like that this is how life you should run it.
Mhm.
Run it in a positive attitude. If shit hits the fan, or if someone comes at you in a different way, or
Yeah.
any type of adversity.
Mm-hmm. I like that. You know what's
Handle it.
cool about you, Jackson, that I just like really appreciate is you are, whether you know it or not, you are just you're tripling down on just something that you genuinely have a ton of fun doing, which is capturing content, filming yourself doing content. Where like someone who graduated with you maybe who maybe a friend of yours is like, geez, like what's this kid doing? Like he works at a CBD shop, lives at home, and just makes videos. Like some people are like, this guy's a fucking failure, right? Like this guy's not doing shit.
And what? Yeah. Exactly.
What's he doing? He's just making videos. But like I look at it from the entirely different space of like you're actively finding what you want to do every single day, and that's making videos, that's creating content. And we're talking about a platform right now that quite frankly is probably one of the most grossing platforms ever on social media, and it's doing it better from the back end standpoint than every other platform.
And we've never ever had this before in our life, where we had this platform. We had Vine, kind of 6 seconds videos.
Mhm.
Nothing like this.
No.
Nothing
No.
like this.
Well,
Nothing
the
like any
business
of what we're
side
going through.
TikTok is phenomenal. You open the app and you get hit with an ad. There's no other app that does that, and it's an ad that you kind of want to see. Like
Yeah.
I get hit by that Netflix one right now of the 3 girls doing the dance, and it's like
You check it out, yeah.
I'll see what this is all about. I get hit with a Charlie ad, and I'm like, oh, I'll see what this is all about. They've presented it in a way it's like it's the glamour of like your Instagram stories, but it's the content of like what you're putting out on your Snapchat group chats.
Facts.
And like people like want that, right? They want that community. They want to feel like you're just being loose and fun with it. They don't want to see all this like overly produced shit, but they want to have a nice visual appeal. It's crazy
Yeah.
how, and then they just work in their ads and they're making money where Vine failed to do that.
Yeah. And like people, I to my audience, I can give them my personality and show them the type of person I am through this app. That's what's cool about it. I can be personal with people. When it comes to Instagram, you can kind of be personal with people, but if you post like a, Instagram's thing is you post like a nice picture, like a high quality picture like of your butt or whatever it is. But like, how are you personal with someone when you're showing like, hey, like this is what I look like?
All the time.
No audio or anything. This is what I look like, and then like, you could maybe get some point across in your caption. That's where I love when Yoakum writes novels on his captions. I love that because that's personable. On a post, he does the videos, but then he's writing stuff. He's getting what his point is out there instead of just being like Mondays, and you're posting a selfie of you.
Some like creative, clever caption.
Yeah, like Mondays, and you're posting a selfie of you with a coffee mug or some basic.
Well,
like
not a
that.
coffee mug, right? Because
A Backpocket one.
no. But if they did like look, if I posted a picture of me and it was just like me and the mug and I just like
Sure, you gotta have the
and I
backlight
had
and
like
stuff.
it was like a black and white photo, right? And I was looking off in the distance and it just said Mondays.
Black
That
and
better
white?
fucking pop off, all right? That's good content.
Black
Right.
and white.
Black and white though, that's where you're capturing the audience is this black and white type of
Yeah,
vibe.
there's a creative little ad.
Yeah.
There's
right.
some moisture on your
Mo- yeah.
on your forehead too.
yeah,
right. But to your point, I see what you're saying.
dripping
like,
from the side of the cup too.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. If it's right.
And then, yeah.
It's just not specifically mug. We can't go there. Metro mugs, Backpocket.
Promo code,
Promo
20%
code.
off.
Yeah, because mugs inspire conversation. That's kind of how we see it. We, if you're having a good conversation, it's got a cup of Joe, and you got a person across from you willing to have a good conversation with you.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's why we have these mugs. That's why we love Metro mugs and like everything we do with them.
Yeah, it's like you get like when you go visit your grandma, you're gonna sit down with them and talk, right? That's what you talk to old people with. And usually that they have my grandma has her coffee in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Nice.
usually fire. Like my grandma's a French press. I got into that because it just tastes way better than the plastic. K cups are so easy, but you can literally like almost taste the difference.
Yeah, you're ruining the environment with cake.
And that's what I pictured myself like when it comes to a mug. And I got my mug that I really like. It's early in the morning, and I'm doing something that I am gonna focus on. I'm doing something that's gonna better myself, or I'm gonna invite you to a conversation like talking with your grandma or talking with someone that is like your cup of Joe. Like now, like, what's going on? You know, that's the type of vibe I get from coffee mugs, and that's cool
Right.
that you guys brought that into Back Pocket.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because I don't have any merch yet. I don't have a brand or anything, but like, I don't know, what to, start posting or start coming out with, or
Took us 4 years, so don't worry about it.
yeah.
You'll
And like
figure it
mugs
out.
are perfect for a podcast.
Mm-hmm. The most heartwarming conversations probably happen when you're holding a mug, early in the morning or late in the afternoon.
You got a why too to
Mhm.
your product.
Yeah.
You're not just coming out with something like this shirt. Like, look at it, check out this shirt, like, soft.
It's soft.
You know?
It's soft.
Right.
What about it
It's
being
luscious.
soft? Nothing really.
What's
I
behind the
could just go
shirt?
buy a white tee and have the same, effect.
Mhm.
But there's a brand on it. What does that brand mean? What does it say?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. There's
Yeah.
always a why to something. That's
Right.
what's important. Get a why, and that's what, like TikTok. You can show your why. You can show yourself. You can be yourself through TikTok because how personable it can be.
And you
the
can
type
win
of
the
videos.
algorithm by being yourself.
Yeah, which
What-
is crazy.
Crazy. That's like the where
Like
you,
wild.
yeah, that's where Instagram fails. You can't. It's hard to be your authentic self on Instagram because there's so much like professional edits to behind it that always beat you out, no matter how like heart and how much passion you put into it. Professional photo will always win, and that's when TikTok comes around and you can just be your goofball self and win the algorithm.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
well wrapped up. That was
Yeah.
perfect.
No, I think that's a really good point. But I think
Perfect point.
I think that's why. I mean, our biggest following's on Instagram still. I mean,
It's your breeding ground. It's where you started. You
Yes.
know?
right. It's where we started. It's still where we're
Like,
growing.
where did I start?
Right.
Like, I don't
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
many
Where'd you
followers.
start,
Yeah.
man?
I didn't start, TikTok or Instagram a little bit. Nothing.
Damn, I keep doing that. Sorry, Dick.
You're good, dude. Phone no dents, dude. Oh, we just went from like one viewer to now we're back down to 0. I think it had everything to do with
The fall,
the
the
fall.
fall.
the great fall.
But
What do we got going on?
yeah, how many viewers you streaming to right now, dude?
4?
Sick. But you know what's so
Bro,
funny?
you know how, bro, I don't get, okay, here's the thing about 4. That's hype. Like, I get hype. And like people say, you care about every single viewer.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
why? Because my vision is I can stream for 8 hours and not one person comes to my stream. Not one person. I can stream for, what do we got going on? Maybe an hour now? And there's
25 minutes.
And there's 4 people. And
Mhm.
I guarantee you can see how many people come and join and stuff like that. And that's off of like this platform that's being made. I wouldn't be able to do that on Twitch or anything else.
Right.
But now people are tuning in, they listen. If they like it, they follow. If they don't, that's what's so cool about this little app.
Tilt
how-
your microphone just up a little bit. The other, yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
What were I had something really good that
The
Oh,
reason why
whatever.
I had it tilted, because the one at home I have it tilted, pointed right like this.
Right. And
But then the
pickup-
the pickup's right here.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
not
bass.
smart.
Yeah.
No, you are smart.
Because I don't have a boom like this, so I have to stack it up on books to get it to like here.
Right.
Got it.
Think about here's my desk. That's kind of a lot of books,
Yeah.
and you have a
Did you
mouse
at least
and
read all
keyboard in
those?
front of you.
Did you read all those books at least?
It's the Tony Robbins one. One is I started to. It's like Money Matters, I think it's called, or things like that. I started to, but
It wasn't. It didn't do
probably
anything.
another average qualities. I don't read much. I need
Mm.
to, but
Do
I'm
you
not good
wanna-
at it though.
Oh, you're
But it's not
good at
something I'm
reading.
good at. So it's like I don't really want to do it. Kind of.
Fair.
I want to focus on a passion of mine, like
Yeah. No,
weird ass videos.
You
that
just I
you
think
fall.
the thing about reading, and Andrew probably could back me up on this, is you just got to find something that you really love. And a book, the way you remain or retain the information when you read a book is something that's just so different than anything else that you do. When you can dive into a book that you really like, you're going to internalize that and then use it for your TikTok or for your brand, whatever it may be. So I don't know what kind of books you would be interested in reading, but we could certainly help you out with
Yeah,
pointing you in the right
I need-
direction.
I need that type of help, and then I also need accountability help. Not being like, yo, you read your book today? Maybe that. Actually, maybe just a message saying, hey, you read today? Just like that out of the blue. And then I'll keep myself accountable. Because I have all these steps. Like, you ever see like the mentor or like, on Instagram, they always come up with like money mentor or things like that. And it's like hobbies you need rich people do, hobbies poor people do.
Yeah.
I have like good hobbies about like the rich people, what rich people do, save money, invest, all of that. But then the one thing that is flip flop is gaming for like, that's what you say. The poor, like, non-rich people are gaming. And then the rich people are reading books. So that's one thing I need to flip flop. But it's like I'm too in love with video games, bro.
Dude. What
But
video
don't, but
games
don't
are you
like,
playing?
but
Yeah,
don't.
why are you selling
don't,
yourself
don't
short?
s- No, well, don't sell yourself short.
That's what I'm
First
trying to
off,
figure out my passion though. You
start
you see
fucking
that, don't?
streaming on Twitch. If you're
I just-
gonna play video games, then
Just gotta fucking do it.
start
basically.
being more creative about driving traffic to your Twitch. Like,
And have fun with
and
it.
have fun with it. Be creative, be unique, be yourself while you're playing video games, which I'm sure you already are. But like, start streaming on Twitch every time you play. Literally every time you play. If I need to start a Backpocket gaming corporation and have you run it and just start gaming all the time, go for it. Like, I'll let you head that part of the division up. I don't give a shit. But I think the days of, oh, you play video games, oh, you're a nerd, and oh, you don't deserve, you're not better than everybody else, or you're lesser, are gone.
But
right?
that's what I'm in that transition though right now.
Right, because
of,
you grew
of
up.
opinion.
We all
Being
grew
my
up in
opinion.
that.
Yeah, my opinion is like I'm that middle person. Like, for example, when my dad comes home and I'm fucking gaming, I just feel like gross, you know? Yeah, I'm like old and I'm gaming, you know? I'm not old. I'm 24. Like, that's not old at all. But like, I should be like outside, you know, playing in the yard or you know, shit like that. Like, I still get that feeling like, but then it's the world as it is. It's not like that, you know? So I'm trying to get that comfortability and transition over, feeling like I'm actually making my time, you know, worth it.
It's not getting over anything. It's just being more aware of what's going on.
I just got to be more comfortable too, being in front of the camera,
Well,
being live
yeah,
on Twitch and sitting down and gaming. I also have to be more comfortable too,
for sure.
because I want to come out there, and I don't want to be, you know, my average, just someone sit there just like, you know, you hear the mouse, you hear the click, 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 you hear the clicks. I want to make sure that like when I hop on there, I'm someone that like you would see on TikTok.
Mhm.
But some days you wake up and you're like tired, you know, some days. But now once you find that routine, once you find something you like to do and can get a schedule, that's where you can start performing at, you know, your peak. Right now, man, dude, I'm just waking up too late, I guess.
No, dude.
Going to
don't
bed too early or going to bed way too late, waking up too late. I just got to find a schedule right now, especially with this corona. Like, it's making my times all
Hold on,
goofy.
slow down. The schedule aspect, you can stream whenever. So I'm running.
That's what's cool about it. But
I'm
like
ru-
at night, you know,
hold on.
think about at night.
Dude, I'm
You got
running
what-
ads right now for a company that has a Twitch team. They have a bunch of people using their microphones, and they have a team. And
I love ice.
And I want to. Yeah, you guys keep chewing ice, and it's driving me
I stopped
nuts,
though.
dude.
I stopped chewing the ice actually.
Yeah.
And just for the first time, like 5 minutes ago, like I was about to chew it. I was like, wait a second, Andrew literally just yelled at me for not chewing the ice,
Stop.
and then I did. It feels good to accomplish something that you were told not to do
Don't do it.
before. I just wanted to
I
vocalize.
know
that.
our listeners don't like it. They're like, "There's Declan again, chewing the ice."
I don't know if they'll
You've been
ever
doing it-
notice, dude.
You've been doing it the last 6 or 7 podcasts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
all
ahead.
in our comments.
Hey, everyone, go back to all the old podcasts and listen to all the audio.
No, I'm
and
making an
find the
edit. I'm
moments.
making an edit of Dak just
Chewing ice.
Just chewing ice. Just
Chomping
like
it.
complication or complication or whatever that word is.
Compilation.
Compilation.
Anyways, Andrew, you're running ads with the Twitch team.
Twitch team, and I have to send out the ads when the Twitch players are active. So I'm going to their schedules and I'm looking when they're going
Thoughtful.
to be when they've done it in the past and when they're going to be like they don't have when they're going to be on it in the future. So I'm just going off like previous to get it generally around when they're active. And the majority of like the people that have the largest followings, they're playing from like 3 to 9 and then from like 2 in the morning until like 9 in the morning. They take like a 2-hour break. I don't know if they're taking a quick power nap or getting some food in them or what, but they are going all night. And some of them just leave it on from like 6 p.m. until 9 a.m. And I'm assuming it's just active and they're like, they take a quick nap and they just leave their stream open.
You
for
can
people-
you can actually do reruns.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what
So
they're
they
doing.
might be doing reruns.
Yeah.
That's
and I'm
smart.
It's incredible. So like you're telling me that you're going to bed too late. Like no, you're in the market. That's-
I'm actually watching.
You're thriving.
I'm actually watching the people that are up late
Yeah.
doing that. That's why I need a flip flop. Instead of me being a consumer, I need to be a producer.
Marcus,
that's
can you
like-
confirm?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you're saying is like getting comfortable is definitely a part of it, right?
Yeah.
I used to get really nervous a long time ago. I used to try to review games, and so a lot of that was me capturing my gaming footage to like make the reviews. That's super nerve-wracking. So I can like really relate to that. But maybe like an idea would be to get a group of people on, get in a Discord, and then stream that Discord. You know, a lot of streamers will do that, and then they have like a group of people that they're familiar with.
Matt Herron.
Yeah, and you have a group of people that you're familiar with already. You have them talking to you. They're the only ones in your head. And it kind of relaxes you. You can play the game a little bit better and kind of go from there.
Dude, I'm getting nostalgia because you said Matt Herron in gaming.
He's the best.
He's so good. He's amazing. Warzone.
Dude.
You and Matt Herron at a Warzone together talking, and just like if Matt Herron is talking in a Warzone game lobby with you, like that's actually funny content. Like I'd
Throw
play
Johan in there too.
That's what, and that's like content that I want. I just got to find those dudes to be on when I'm on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like what he
And
said,
they don't
but I
need
got
to be streaming. They can just grab their audio.
They just got to be there.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing too. You said be like I need to make myself more accountable. Okay, absolutely. But look at what you're being accountable towards. It's not video games. Video games is a platform now. Look at video games like you would look at TikTok, right? In addition to that, the accountability you need to have is organizing the content for TikTok or for Twitch, right?
Yeah.
So making sure that you have all the streaming software and that you're ready to go when you hit live. You need to make sure that the presentation looks good. You need to make sure Matt Herron's online. You need to make sure that your boys are online. Those are the things that you need to be accountable for that actually matter. It's not the video games, and it's not even the sleep, even going off what Andrew says.
Yeah.
And as you start to gain that information, as you start to try and be uncomfortable and go and watch the film like we all used to do in football, that's what we're doing right now on TikTok and what we're doing everywhere else. Like as you go and watch that film, start to reflect and then still remain accountable. You don't have to be you never have to be more accountable or you never have to be less accountable. You just have to be accountable. Okay? You just need to be accountable all the time.
And I think
it just needs to be stable.
Yeah, I think I have accountability. That's a good. Now I'm going to picture myself doing that because what you said there was perfect. Exactly what I needed. Now I'm going to be able to organize that because before I didn't want to go stream. I didn't want to stream because nothing was set up. Now that makes sense when you just told that. Being accountable of your time doing this activity, you know, like when you do play, record or go live. Don't just play. And that's where I'm starting to see that. I just got to get now more comfortable. I just got to do it.
Yeah.
More just like accountability. Like, just do it, bro. Like, you already have everything set up. You got a mic. You got a camera. You got your game. Actually, I don't have a game yet. Actually, I do have a game yet. I know.
What's your game?
It's called Liftoff. It's a drone racing game. It's
Hell yeah.
FPV. That's literally, it's got 1,000 followers. You start with a small game when it comes to Twitch. That's what you want to, you start with a small game. Or you be really good and you play like Fortnite and whatnot, Warzone. And then people are going to start watching you because your name's going to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
But this Liftoff game, first-person viewing, it actually simulates real drones, like flying in. Like, you ever see FPV drones? You wear goggles.
Yeah.
So like those, you can simulate and practice on a video on.
So
on
you
a,
can
you
practice
plug in the
flying
controller.
drones while playing a video game
Yeah.
and streaming, and you do that as a normal job anyways, where you're filming and
You're winning
Yep.
in many ways.
So do you
there's
see where-
lots of crossover
Yeah,
here.
you see
right?
where I need to now just do it. Like I have an idea.
No, we
I just gotta
see
do
it.
it.
We know you're
I just
the
gotta
ones
do it.
that needs to do it, Mr. Number 6 in your fucking Corona jersey.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
What's
It's
dope
beautiful.
about this whole conversation is like I think of like Jordy Lundell coming on our podcast a year ago around this time, and he had just quit his financial analyst job.
Oh,
And-
Northwestern, was he there?
It might have been. It was like one of those.
Because I had that same experience too. That we
He
can
might
wrap
even
back
been
around.
real
We'll get
estate.
We can
into
wrap
that in a
back
second.
around.
Yeah, and he didn't love it, and he like reached a point where he was like watching a golf tournament while he was working, and he was like, I don't give a shit about my work. I'm just watching the golf tournament like on my little side monitor. I should not be doing this anymore. And then I think he had a couple conversations with his parents, some people really close to him, and he took the leap of quitting his job and going unemployed for a couple weeks. But during those weeks, he was like, I need to find what I love doing. And he went back to him as a kid when he was making videos with his dad on a little camcorder, just some like with his Legos and just like one-off things. And he's like, that's what I love doing. I want to triple down on that. So he reached out to people in real estate, similar to what you've done, and he's like, I want to film. I want to just be behind the scenes editing. Real estate has a need. I'm gonna jump in it. And he
Got a drone and looking good.
and
Yeah,
exactly
love his
and,
content.
and he figured out a way to find that niche and find love in that niche. And he's just doing what he loves. And that was super cool to hear from him. He had just quit his job, and he was a week out from starting the new gig. He had just gotten the job offer that morning, and he was on our show that afternoon. So it was like a really cool moment of him leaving this old past life and joining this path of like, I'm now on the path of love and doing worthy things for myself, and that's going to ultimately like sprout others around me. And
Wow.
We were on the brink of it, and now looking at
You're
it,
on the peak of where his transition over, and like he's probably
And he's
pretty
just-
emotional at that
and
time too.
it was just a
willing to
mini
talk.
peak, right? So now he's just
Yeah.
trending more up and up and up and up.
Now he's
to
going to the
right.
direction of
Yeah, now
where
you
he
see
needs to
him.
go instead of the direction of
So-
plateauing.
Yeah, real
But, like,
quick, Marcus, can you look up the number of that podcast we did with Jordy? Just real quick.
Jordan Lundell.
Yeah, Jordan Lundell, but I want to know the number so people who are listening right now are like, holy shit, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Go listen to that
I'm
podcast. It's
feeling
awesome.
that same type of energy where you're like seeing, what you want to do. You haven't put necessarily the full 100% into it yet, but you know it. You internally know what you need to do. You've articulated exactly what you need to do. You just haven't done it, or you
Yeah.
haven't consistently done it.
Yeah.
So you're firing me up because you know exactly how to do this.
And and the other person I'm talking to is, myself. I'm not talking to anyone else like this, so I'm not getting any feedback. So like when you're only talking to yourself for so long, like you don't plateau, but like you're not gonna have a little extra to be like, yes, let's do it.
There's just no other perspective.
There's no other like,
Reinforcement.
yeah, or just even
Re-encouragement.
just hearing like feedback of like, yeah, your videos are actually tight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, yeah, that one was really cool. Like, I think it's unreal. That's why you see me getting like, I call them J-gasms, because when you get a good shot and you're like, oh, like you make like a weird noise. Like I get those all the time when I'm recording. So that's where I started leaning towards the passion. That's when, recording you guys and I'm getting these. That's what's really cool. But then I'm not, I am prioritizing it. I just gotta do it. I gotta make a plan. I gotta get my plan all set up instead of just
I wouldn't
doing
even
it.
say that. Just again, the
I
awareness
just
is
need to
always
like put
the
it
key.
in the right place.
The awareness is always the key. Like, just be aware of what's going on around you, and like, if there is an opportunity that pops up over there, sprint towards it.
Yeah.
Like, go right. If it's me asking you to do a video, it's yes, Declan, I'll come and do this for you, and now you're doing it right. And real quick, when you get those J-gasms, which we're saying J-gasm because that's a callback to Jay Christensen, who is an amazing drone photographer who is blowing up all around St. Paul and
Pioneer
Minneapolis.
Press. Pioneer Press wrote 2 articles on
Amy
him.
Klobuchar.
Amy Klobuchar.
Klobuchar.
I mean,
You
the
got
guy's
the Jordan
blowing
Lundell
up.
number?
Anyways,
Not
Marcus.
yet. I'm still looking for him. How do you spell his last name?
Christians-
Lundell is
Lundell.
Lundell,
Yeah.
something like that.
But even as the person on the other side of the camera, being filmed, when I get that, oh, this is such a sick shot, that's only going to make me perform better because I know it's going to be sick, you
Yeah.
know? And like going back to that one time when you filmed me like Goggins style running on the lake,
I've never done
with
that
my
before, and
shirt
then all of a sudden
off.
I try it.
and you're like, all right, Declan, start running. I'll follow you. And you like say something. And then I like slap Jason on the ass and keep running. And you're like, dude, this is so sick. And I was like, I feel like David Goggins right now. And you're like, yes, dude, this is David Goggins. And then I just like
that was-
delivered
yeah.
this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that was you, man. Like,
was
not
my
only did you
gasm.
feel it, but like you gasmed and then like put it on to me. And I was like, oh shit, like we gotta really crush this, I guess. I don't know, just do something well with it. But I think, I don't know, ultimately what I really love is just like you have the ambition, you have the passion, right? It's just when we're young like this and we get caught up in this too, it's just like you're kind of like the lost dog. You don't necessarily know where to go. You don't necessarily know what opportunity to take. But that's why I say, if you like the opportunity, you're passionate about it, and you're ambitious about what you want to do, sprint towards it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to start this young. The thoughtfulness of like find your passion young, because man, we're gonna live till we're really old.
Good
We're
point.
Like we're gonna. So
Marcus
we got
has the-
we got a lot of
number.
years.
So the number is episode 176.
All right, cool.
176 with Jordan Lindell.
All right, so Marcus, internalize this. Anytime we're talking about a podcast and it's one of ours, just look it up right away and say it. That way, any listener that's listening, they can just hear it, and then maybe if they finish listening to this episode, they know for the next episode to listen to. I kind of like this weird, because I do it all the time on like Joe Rogan. If they're talking about someone, I go and, as a passionate Joe Rogan fan, will go and just like go back to that episode and listen like the Lance Armstrong episode or whatever. But I think this would be a good help for now that we have our episodes kind of organized and categorized as just like a straight number in a person's name. Just remember that. Anyways, we were talking about I forget.
Just having fun.
We're just having a blast.
Doing.
But then, like, yeah, with Jordan Lindell and how he made the transition over, like, that's, like I said, started young. You got to start it young. You got to start looking for it, though. Sometimes people get too caught up in their 9-to-5 job where they have no time in their day to think about what they might love to do. You know, Jordy sat down and was like, I'm going to look back, figure out what I'd love to do. Oh, when I was young, when I was a kid recording, let's try that. Let's see if I really do love it. And now look what he's doing, you know? That's what I'm trying to do now is start it when I'm young and then find what and try to piece it together and how it was going to work best for me. That's why TikTok is super cool because it helped me start to get my content out there and help me start do something.
It was like a catalyst.
And it's not like, bro, I was getting so much hate on it. You don't know how many people were just like, TikTok? You're on TikTok? Isn't that like a little kid's app?
And it's still happening. And those people.
It's still happening. Like,
yeah.
you're on TikTok. It's like, yeah, but like I grew like exponentially over the last couple of months, all because of this platform.
Personally.
And I don't even, and personally too.
Yeah.
Like I don't even, that's why when it comes to like, oh, you know, like why you post it on there, I'm not going to try it. I don't want to get on that trend. Yeah. If you're a consumer, but if you're a producer, you're good to go. Like this is a platform where you need to use and use it well.
Right. And you hit it spot on. When you're in the business of being a producer or building a personal brand, you can never look at something like you're better than that. That never does you justice. You always have to like take advantage of like, oh, that is where people are and people are active on there. I need to be there. And when you're to get there, don't like change your ways. Just do what you did over here a little bit differently. Like it drives me nuts when people are like, I tried TikTok, like, oh, that's for little kids, or like, oh, you're like, what are you doing on there? It's like, so you don't see it. You don't see that like there's people here interacting with what we're doing.
And I'm having fun.
Yeah, like, why is that?
Blast.
Why are you looking at that less than?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Like, come on, man. I'm just trying to have fun. Like, and it's making me happy. Like,
your ego's too big to not have fun? Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, technology. It's like, I know it's weird, scary, but try it.
And to be honest, 2 months ago, my ego was too big. I looked at Declan and I was like, I'm not fucking making any more TikTok. I did it like he asked me to make 3 TikToks a week and he was going to do 4. And I think there was 1 week, I did it for 1 week and then the next one I only made 2 and I skipped a day. And Deck goes, where's the TikTok today? And I go, TikTok, fuck it. And
why did you not want to post? Why did you not try to get these videos out? Because I know the reason why I don't post sometimes. What is your feeling of, oh, like I can't post 3 of them?
I felt like I couldn't be creative enough to get attention on there. I was too serious or too professional. I wouldn't be friendly enough on the platform to get like the interaction that it wants.
Yeah.
So I was just like, nah, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, you're kind of looking for a guideline to follow, but in the end,
and then you just gotta
throw
do
it
myself.
out there. Yeah.
Well, what it ended up being was like I just interacted with the platform a little bit more and realized, oh, I can do this and this. I'll have fun doing that. I'm gonna try that out versus like you get kind of caught up in the dances or something that is most popular that you don't fit. But there's plenty of other stuff that you can dive into. But I was pissed at Declan and that he was making me do 3 a day. We talked about this on the.
That's a lot though. That is a ton. Like in my perspective, that is a lot to do 3 a day.
And he's doing 4.
No, 3, like 3, just 1 a day. So I had 4 of the 7 days a week,
Oh,
and Andrew had 3 of the days a week.
3 days.
And
So you gotta
Did I
make
say 3 a day?
right. No,
I'm looking at it as 3 a day instead of 3. Like, I mean, 3 every single day or 3 each day of the week type of.
We want to post every day, and he takes 4 of those posts, and I take 3.
7 days a week. I should have just put that together, but
It's all right.
SBS.
Anyways,
small brain.
regardless, yeah. I mean, I remember.
I'm saying this 2 months later. Like I was in this headspace of.
Yeah, I have the
That's only 2
I
months.
screenshotted the text right when he sent it to me because I was like, "Fuck!" Like,
Just
this-
wait.
just wait. Like this thing, I had just a ton of fun with it right away because I just really liked creating dumb fun videos that I thought in my head. And to Andrew's point, like it's so funny when people are like, "Oh, you go on TikTok and you just dance." It's like, "Oh, you haven't really been on TikTok then. There's
You haven't
like
consumed.
so many. You haven't consumed enough, right?" And
Gotta
that's
consume
like
a
the
little
best
bit.
part is when you can take a trend that's on TikTok that's maybe a little smaller, make a video, it blows up in that trend, you then take that and then post it elsewhere, and then that's the first time someone's ever seen that trend just because they're not on TikTok. You look like you're Macho Man all of a sudden. And it's like, no, I'm just doing what I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing and following the rules, which is I'm making a TikTok every day. And if I run into a creative lull, all I have to do is spend more time on TikTok, just kind of finding what catches my ear.
That's exactly how I took it. That's my route I took as well with TikTok. Listen to the Gary Vee, like, hey, consume a little bit. I mean, I was already doing this, but then he was always reinforcing it. Consume a little bit, figure out what you can do to produce it, and then start posting videos. Hop on little funny trends, you know. You make a Fortnite video, you know. You just different sound effects, whatever. The different sounds you use, you know. There's so many sounds that I've saved that I'm gonna make future
That's
videos.
your biggest
of.
asset.
Yeah.
A silly one that
Exactly.
I did that in my best performing TikTok, I took the sound of a car engine and it was the laptop I made it like the
I
laptop
love that
overheating
one.
and just grabbed the fan and put it like next to my laptop.
Dude, I literally, when you were talking about like creative videos that you post on TikTok, I was gonna bring that one up. That was my favorite one.
yeah, it
'Cause that's literally from my experience of what editor. Yes, that's what it does. But then you added a twist, like holy, like
Bring in the fucking
bring in the
fan.
fan, like cool it down, and then the sound effects is just classy, dude. Just,
Yeah.
You're like, what yeah, you're acting and you work on your acting skills. Like there's so much things.
I'm wearing a fedora.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares exactly? And you just get comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about TikTok. Is like I'm starting to get comfortable with myself.
Dope.
And that has not in like
With in front of cameras.
in front of the camera. That is
In front of cameras?
transferable
What-
over
In front of cameras.
anything, especially if you just want to, if you want your thing to be in front of camera, like who cares what TikTok is? You're finding a platform that you're having fun posting videos, and you're actively having a blast doing it. And I think that's the coolest part is like we're gonna look back 20 years from now and be like, wow, thank God for TikTok. Like we know how to speak in front of a camera. We know how to hold a conversation. We know how to do this and do that. Like we're getting actual skills from these platforms that are like kind of translating into different kinds of successes or wins. And when you brought up like the idea of like the personability, like getting comfortable with being on camera, I think that's one of the reasons why like your dad, Andrew, why he's so captivating when we post him on our Instagram stories or on our feed. Because
he's patient with it.
He's a good speaker.
Mhm.
He's so comfortable in front of the camera. The fact that he can go on a walk or go on a run or go at a workout and in the parking lot as he's walking back to his car or on the tail end of his walk during quarantine, that he can just pull his phone out and record himself for a minute and deliver something with strong verbs and short sentences is absolutely incredible, right? And think about why that does so well and cross that over with how unique he is
Mm-hmm.
in that regard. Whose dad is doing that?
I can't think of one. And that's what, like, it really kind of
Like not mine. Mine's my dad's in there when he's like building the house, and I get cool ass shots.
Mhm.
But like when he's in front of the camera, no. Like think about also what if people look at him in the parking lot? Like what is this guy doing? He's just holding his camera. You know what is he talking to?
It
Yeah.
seems asinine
Confident,
to
too.
everybody else,
Yeah,
but
and it's he's just got confidence saying like, who cares? Let's make a video. Let's perform now. You know, like for example, in football, seconds you got to perform. Go. The same thing. Maybe he has the same mentality of like perform, because like, or he's just really unique.
he
Like
played football.
like he's got a confidence where he didn't grow up with a cell phone. If you think about that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean he did, but like nothing like where you can record and walk
Yeah.
and talk.
I mean,
and send it to your
he's
buddies.
putting himself in high pressure situations that are so much more than what that phone situation is throughout what he's doing with the restaurant business. But what I think is like really dope, and I'm kind of bummed you jumped over there, but you're good.
I'm still on the mic though.
Yeah, you're still on the mic.
Don't worry.
To your point of like how comfortable my dad is, not like he wasn't at first, and I mean, he's trying his best and he's just having fun with it. But to your point of like practice deck, I get like jealous of how comfortable you've gotten speaking in front of the mic and just being yourself, because you spent a year going up on stage, bombing, having fun, talking with people who are also bombing.
That's hard, bro.
Open mics, he's going 3 or 4 a week. That is something that we do not talk about on this podcast enough. And I mean, we probably did a little bit more in 2019. Sometimes we think we talk about something for too much and then we just put it to the back burner. But I want to bring this to the forefront. Declan practiced his public speaking skills more than anyone has in the year of 2019. From the point of being relaxed and just trying to make someone laugh.
And that's not easy, bro.
Not easy at all, dude. I don't want to do it. I have no urge to do that.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would be so scared. Like, I'm scared to get in front of my phone and just talk in front of it. Imagine going in front of people and then saying
still
like...
stink talking. We talk about this. We've already said it 100 times in this podcast. I don't feel great about talking to myself or talking in front of a camera. I still feel like I'm tightening up or becoming someone that I'm not.
Yeah, you're just like...
And then I look at Declan, I'm like, when I film it, I'm like, that was way too loose. That's never going to work. And then I look back at it in post-production, and I'm like, oh, man, he was like, that's crushed. Like the example of talking about the couches.
Clean
video. When I was filming it, I was like, oh, Declan blew that. Like, just like he was too laxed, and he didn't get to the point quick enough. Whether we were talking about like Carol Baskins or talking about manspreading on the couch. And I was just like, oh, that's not going to work, but he'll figure it out in post-production. And then when you film me, I was like, oh, I was definitely too serious. And then I was thinking the content overall sucked. And then you put it together and I was like, oh, I kind of stunk. I had one good part. And Declan, you were so comfortable. But to your point, like that didn't just come out of the blue. A year ago, I don't know if that would have been as smooth.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I'll rant about it for hours.
No, but that's exactly like my progression too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's give him applause.
Thanks, guys.
That's big time. That takes that's like me and my Instagram stories. You can see like, oh, this guy's uncomfortable. Oh, this guy's getting more confident. Oh, he's got energy now in his videos. Like that was all because of practice over time of just keep doing something like lesson of the day. I had to get in front of the camera. I had to, like, bro, I wish people would see me. Like, if you ever hear like old people or moms say, I wish I was a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, just to see what was going on in that situation. You ever hear that?
Just like old people or moms.
Old people are moms. That's the only people I hear from. That's the only people I hear from. So your mom went old. I'm just kidding. But anyways, that's like, I wish there was a fly on the wall and they watch me try to do my videos, because it's still like, it wasn't one shot and done. It was like multiple shots, because it was like 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 seconds of me just talking. And I didn't want to make sure I messed up. I didn't want to stutter. I didn't want to, say something wrong that I was reading about, that I learned about. I want to make sure I get all my points across. Like, and I'm sitting there like 45 minutes later, finally getting it, making sure the angle of the sun's on, things like that. But it's like people don't see that, but it all becomes back to your point back to his point of just practice. And how if you find something you're passionate about, it's okay to fail a few times, because in the end, like, the attributes and the reward is going to be way more fun because of how technology is going, how society is. Like, you got comfortable in front of a camera, in front of a mics. Podcasts are getting huge. Audio is getting huge. People love just to ride in their car and listen to audio. People love just to go work out in audio, listen to music. That's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And more important, especially now with the coronavirus, mics are getting important for, like, to have solid, like, this is perfect. I would talk for hours with this quality.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost better than, going like this. Like,
this is not as fun.
It's just cozy. Like,
Yeah.
So
you're in the pocket.
And you get comfortable with that. Like, once you get comfortable with that, you'll notice, like, wow, I'm actually in front of a camera a lot. And I can also post cool videos or, things that I do in front of a camera. The more comfortable you get in front of something, the better the more comfortable you get with something that you're bad at, the better you turn yourself into, basically. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, you do something that you're uncomfortable with, you're going to feel good about the outcome, because it's like attacking your fear. For example, my fear was in front of the camera. I attacked that, and I tried it on Instagram stories. And now, look at me now. I'm getting comfortable in front of the camera. I'm still not as comfortable. It's still my average quality, but I'm getting a following because of that, because of something I was scared to do. But I said, fuck it. Let's just try it and do it. Did you have the same mentality when you're going on the shows?
Oh yeah.
Like, was that the same thing? It's like, screw
100%.
it. Let's just get on there and see what happens. Because, like, that was my vibe, and that's how I took it. It's weird, but, like, lesson of the day, attack something that you're fearful of.
Yeah.
And see what the outcome takes you. Don't be going jumping off cliffs, and stuff like that. But, like, jump off one that's, like, kind of high and you're scared of. Because in the end, when you hit the water, you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad at all.
You did it.
Yeah, you did it. Like a backflip. A lot of people could probably do a backflip, but that's so scary to go back. I try to do some. I try to do a backflip on the ground. There's a TikTok I made, had like 50,000 views. Me and my brother try to do it. Like, we were just like, screw it, let's do it. And it's cool because what made me want to do that was being in front of a camera and being confident enough to do that. If it wasn't recorded, I was like, why would it be,
Why would I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to have
get
some
that.
meaning behind it.
Mhm.
I need to capture it because, it might go somewhere. People might get a laugh or a smile out of it. I might be helping someone else, if they're going through a rough day. Stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's cool.
No, I love that, man.
But yeah, I don't know how to wrap it now, but
No.
You wrapped it.
You
Yeah.
did.
Don't sell yourself short now.
There's all kinds
be
of great stuff
confident.
in there, brother. Don't worry about it. And confidence is totally key. And I think one thing that just like looking back on our week,
self-care, confidence type of deal. That's important.
absolutely. So we did a podcast with these two St. Thomas seniors. They're both named Brady. They did they run a
Brady
podcast.
and Brady?
Yeah, Brady and Brady.
Yeah, I saw that. I
with the
listened
Wake and
in.
Take podcast.
Yeah,
there
listen,
you go.
that's cool.
So
Yeah, I saw that. You guys posted it or something,
Mhm.
and then I tuned in a little bit.
there you go.
I love to see that. I love to see dudes starting just like that, and
Right.
just doing it.
Oh, dude, we were
Having
so
a clean
excited.
image, clean, logo. Like, it's like
It goes
they're
a long
doing
way.
it. Yeah, they're trying,
absolutely.
and the content is fun to listen to too.
Yeah. They're good at what they do. The
Absolutely.
Wake and Take.
The
boys.
Wake and Take podcast, episode 28. We were on it. But so they came over here.
Yeah, they
we
probably
sh-
took a lot from you. You probably helped them out, huh?
We hope so. And like that's. I
What
mean,
do you mean?
we
yeah,
could
we
win.
hope. We
Yeah.
hope. We hope. We
Yeah,
hope they take something away, right? Well, we're not like implementing things
Yeah,
for
I
them,
vibe
but
it.
we're just giving them what we did. And
I
hopefully
gave
they
them
take something.
videos. We gave them we showed them exactly like how we would promote a podcast, and we took them through that whole rigmarole. Not only that, their longest podcast they ever had done was 30 minutes, and we did 3 hours. So like, we showed them like, hey, this is how we do things, and we've been doing it for a couple of years. Like, this is where we see the most value, and like Andrew said, Andrew shrugged because he's like, we
but
we
I don't
put
know.
all that forward.
Yeah, I
Like,
see.
I'm hoping the Brady's take whatever we gave them and go do it on their own, because that's when we win the most, right?
Yeah.
But going back to that, like they came over here, we took a picture, like we showed them the studio, transfer some content, that was kind of the point of it. But then one of the Brady's, Brady Hallmeyer, was like, hey, can I grab a quick video, you guys, real quick, just as like a promo? I wanna make sure that we have some good content for the promotion for this
Yeah.
episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
And in 11 seconds, Andrew and I were able to introduce each other and tell you exactly what the back pocket is. 11 seconds.
Wow.
That's fucking awesome, right? Because 3.5 years, 4 years before that, it would take me so much longer, over a minute plus my elevator pitch or whatever. It's evolved.
Take after take after take
Exponentially.
after take of just
One
being
take,
in front of the
11
camera.
seconds.
That's wild.
This is
That's
what
my
we
goal.
are.
So that's what I said. That's my goal. Is just to be able to just at the snap of the fingers capture something that's happening right now.
Mhm.
You know, because a lot of things happen fast, and if you can just capture it quickly. I hate that you always have to have your phone out. That type of like, oh, I'm capturing it, but like as long as it's not the sunset, like like you can like capture it and look and watch.
Mhm.
You don't have to like. For example, you see the people at concerts always having their phone up and capturing for like 8 minutes. Like, are you gonna go back and watch that? No, I go up there, sick ass part, record it, put it down, enjoy. And that's where people are starting. I maybe feeling comfortable doing, but that's the vibe perspective I try to get when I'm trying to capture things. Enjoy the moment, but you can still capture it quickly. You can still do something in 11 seconds, give it to the dude, and be able to show and tell yourself, of the, what you're doing, the occupation you're doing, the job, whatever, the podcast, the, brand, whatever it is. If you can do it quickly, efficiently, and then when in front of a camera, which is the hardest thing to do, you're going to see a lot of success out of it throughout all the things you do, no matter what job you're taking, no matter what you're doing in life, which is like, that's what I started to learn when it came to like just saying lessons of the day.
Well, where we struggled the most throughout this journey has been having the need to explain ourselves. We always are like, they don't get it, so we need to overly explain it. But in reality, like, Declan and I didn't get it. And that's why we wanted to overly explain it, because we were trying to just vomit out just words that would make sense so that people would nod their head and be like, oh, I get
That's
it.
sometimes what I do too.
Right?
Like,
we have that urge, and
you just don't know.
And that sometimes translates to what you put out as content. You're like trying to overly explain why you're doing something, so then it loses all of its meaning.
Yeah.
The best content and the best version of yourself is when you're just doing. You don't need to explain yourself. You're just doing it. And
you're grabbing that attention, and they're just like, wow, you're just on your A game right away in the short amount of time that you're producing.
And you're able to do that because you're just taking action. You don't have the urge to explain it. And I'm not saying we're the best at it, but that has been like the active practice that we keep going after. And that's a great example of how we've kind of like finally, even after he finished that 11 seconds, I looked up at Brady and I go, was that enough? Do we need some more? And
you're still doing it after too much. I love that.
Oh, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I want to keep
and
explaining.
Deck's like, yeah, we got it.
Deck's like he's hitting me on the side of the knee. He's like, dude, we're good. We're good.
Well, it was funny because it took 2 takes, because I was like, all right, Andrew, like, I'm going to say my name. You're going to say your name. You're going to say we're the podcast. And then I'll just give our quick elevator pitch and we'll be done. And so I go, hey, everybody, like, my name's Declan. Andrew says he's Andrew.
And I blew it.
And then he didn't say anything. And I was like, and Andrew was supposed to say we're the Backpocket, but we're the Backpocket podcast, and we're a comedy podcast highlighting stories of success from ordinary average people doing the extraordinary. Done. But do you know how long it took to get to that
your little
phrase?
Elevator pitch? Yeah.
I mean, everyone was like, it's all about the journey and the process, not about the result or the reward. And it's awesome to show you that 11 seconds, but no one else outside of this room besides Andrew and I are going to know what that phrase means outside of anything else. Just like you talked about with shirts, like, oh yeah, you create a shirt with a nice you create a nice soft shirt with your logo on it.
Yeah. Cozy.
Anybody can do that, right? But like, what makes a shirt like this where it says wildly average on it and it's a nice, like, what is this, a champion long sleeve shirt? Like, what makes this super important is the meaning wildly average, right? You talked about your average quality earlier. You talked about what things we can work on, and how this platform, these 4 people in this room, are going to help you amplify your own career, your own life, far more than everything. And it started with average.
Yeah, that's
started
crazy.
with average.
And that's crazy that you guys found that too, and you're running with something that is so thoughtful and has such a great point behind it that's helping people like me.
That's a good point.
I appreciate that about you guys. Is that what you guys do, and your whys are actually helping other people figure out their whys. For example of me coming on this show, I don't talk to other people, like I said, just myself coming on this show and being able to express myself and then having feedback, all because you guys one day felt like doing a podcast, and then you kept working on it and found like wildly average, kept working towards that, found the elevator pitch in 11 seconds. And then now you're helping random people, not random, I'm not that random, but I'm kind of random people like me that you've met at St. Thomas. You're just slowly helping more and more people out. That's what I see in that's what I see the Backpocket doing, which is really cool, because that's my goal. High energy, good vibes only. So that no matter what people are going through in their day, they're going to hopefully get a smile out of the content I'm posting out, or hopefully grab something that they can learn and better themselves. Like cold showers, like all those small little details, are going to help you. Like, that's why I post on TikTok about cold showers, things that, that's my ultimate goal. And that's really cool that you guys have found something, and it's pretty stable. I would say your podcast is pretty stable right now, and you're just only making it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the coolest thing I like about what's going on. And I appreciate you being able to bring me on and having me be able to help myself through like what I'm going on, but then also bring value to you as well, being like, hey, this is what I did, this is what I'm doing, and in the end, we're literally doing the same exact thing almost, you know, like we're going through the same stuff as you get comfortable in front of the cameras. We're both 24, and it's cool that now we're just sharing. You know, you surround yourself with people that are gonna better yourself. So like that's cool that I was able to do this and also bring value to you guys through TikTok, because I'm a TikTok famous type of dude.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. Yo,
I'm TikTok famous.
I appreciate those words. That's fucking epic. And Jason Coons came on our show last October, beginning of November, and he was like, what do you want this podcast to be? And we were just articulating how we wanted to be a launch pad for our closest friends. They come on the show, then they can kickstart whatever they're doing, whether they're selling supplements or they are a fitness person, they have a TikTok with a Twitch program, whatever it is, they can come on our show and then they see some type of kickback into their brand. That would be the most epic thing that we could do. And that like is exactly why we do Backpocket, is so we can share your story. And
because no one,
that's the reward we get. Like,
and that's beautiful.
And we only know that because time and time again, people come on our show and we sit across from them and they share their most fulfilling experiences, and they're always rooted in the give back every single time. So we have to figure out, Backpocket has to figure out a way, how can we be rooted in the give back? If our whole brand can be organized around sharing the story of the person across from us, then that's the fucking most fulfilling thing we can do. So that's why we keep having people on that are in our same situation. You and I are in the same situation, and we're just growing together. And you get to share your story on this little brand, little audience that we've built, and put it out there and see what happens. And at the same time, you get to personally articulate it, which forces you to internally reflect and be like, was what I shared on the Backpocket exactly what I wanted to do? And you can, if you want to, you can actively go back and listen to this podcast and be like, oh, all right, so at the 20-minute mark, I had some value there. At the 45-minute mark, I kind of rambled. I don't know if I really got my point across.
There's plenty of those times.
But I see the direction that I wanted to hear. Yeah. So you're listening back now. You personally get to listen back, and that's when you're winning, because you're hearing your own self articulate your personal journey and being like, oh, this is what I want out of my journey. And that is even more powerful than even having this conversation.
Yeah. And that's cool that we're both seeing that, you know, that I'm seeing that and you're also seeing that. Because then, like, you guys set this platform for me to better myself. That's the coolest thing. It's like you guys are setting something up to better myself. Tell myself a story, you know, get people, whatever audience you have, get people to know me, you know, and then be able to maybe, you know, send them my way, or I send more your way, you know, things like that. And it's cool that this is a passion of yours. You still work as an engineer, right?
Yeah.
You work
with marketing. I'm Facebook ads.
Yeah, Facebook ads. But you're still working as an engineer, what you went to college for. You know, that's incredible. But that you built this off of, like, on the side. You did exactly what you both did exactly what is supposed to be told to do, and you just found something you love to do, and now you got a big base, concrete base, pretty hard, and now you're being able to help, you know, dudes like me, and do any people that come on the podcast. I mean, Devani's, you know, they probably helped out too, and any of that stuff. Like, it's cool that that's how you're being developed, and that's how kind of the world is being seen too, as now being like, you, of course, you're doing an engineer job, but you're also working your ass off in this, and you're bringing and you're producing good stuff. People that want to listen. You're getting a following off of something on the side that's your passion. Otherwise, you could just go back to your engineer job, get paid, you know, 9 to 5, do that, hopefully be happy doing it. But in the end, you're just working, you know, for someone else. You're not doing something that you love to do, and you're going to be constantly waking up, you know, thinking, damn, should I go to work today? But you're doing both at the same time. That's tight. I'm doing one thing. I'm just trying to focus only on my passion, which is good. No money there, but, like, you live below your means. I'm living at home. Live below my means, being super grateful for that my parents will let me live at home, you know? But I'm searching for the passion. You know, we're searching for our thing. We're finding it. And then all of a sudden you guys are like, yep, here was my passion. I created a podcast. Oh, Jackson, you want to come on? I get all giggly and amped. Like, I literally told my brother that, and he's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I'll go on there on Wednesday, so it's going to be fun. And I'll bring them tequila, blah, blah, you know, plan it out, you know, getting all excited. And I come here, and I'm able to, off of your passion, be able to find my passion, and then now set myself into a direction where I know that it's going to be fun and I'm going to have fun doing it, instead of being like, should I keep going? Should I take a left or a right? Or should I keep going this way? You know, all the failures, all the opinions, the hate. Should I keep going this way or should I stop? But then, it's sweet that now I have a direction to go because of two dudes that found their passion. Now I found my passion. Jordy found his passion. So in the end, what is life about? Finding something you love to do, your passion. You focus on that, find it, but then also live below your means and be able to enjoy doing it. Like you're able to do engineer and this at the same time. You're able to do marketing and this at the same time. I'm able to work at a CBD store, learn about that, and post TikToks at the same time and still find content to do. I'm not doing it as good as I would say you guys with engineering and a marketing job, but I'm still doing it. I'm still sitting at 24 years old and being like, I'm gonna find my passion as soon as I can before I go elsewhere. Because I've tried real estate, I tried Facebook ads. I actually built.
Really?
Yeah, I have a real estate company named Next Level Real Estate Investing, like Next and then LVL. Just came up with that because I bought something online, forgot his name, but just to learn about how to wholesale.
Grant Cardone.
Close. It's I can't think of his name.
Frank Kern.
Chris Lindell.
But I see Grant all the time. I see all their ads. But anyways, I did that, spent money on that, and now like that's a direction I know I should probably, get my TikTok involved because I know, passive income is going to come from real estate, things like that. I tried, marketing. I tried to build a business with my buddies. Like, props to you guys. You guys are best friends and you're building a business. I tried to do that, and that was terrible, Like, that didn't work out at all, but I got to learn from that and grow from that. And I'm continuing to try to do those things, and I'm only 24. Like, I've already been through experiences with my best friends and having a work environment, but then a friend environment at the same time. That's goofy, bro. That's goofy. Not knowing how to like talk to your CEO since he's your CEO and like listen to like what he wants you to do. Of course I would like listen to it, but then also like the way you come off, you got to come off in a different way. Like what if you come off in a business way, but it was supposed to be a friend way, things like that. That's why it was so hard to do business with your friends. But I got to learn that. I got to go through F3 and I have to deal with all of that. That's what it is. F3 visuals. I had a blast doing it, but then in the end, we just, weren't making enough money to satisfy all of us. That's about what happened. But, all of the lessons I learned, if I wouldn't have took the step to quit my job at Collabora, which is a staffing firm, to try and to go to this small business that I wasn't going to get paid, but I'm doing something I love to do, I'm going to take this step. Wasn't maybe the smartest because I didn't have any income coming out of it, but I was living below my means at home, so I only had my loans to pay. Only had $500 a month to pay on loans. So I was like, oh, that's manageable. Let's try it out. Ended up trying it out, learning so much from that I would, if I would have stayed at Collabora, or which is staffing for another 4 to 5 months. And guess what I was doing at Collabora? Jordy was watching golf. I was watching Twitch almost the whole time. I was watching video games the whole time while trying to call people and say if they want a job or not. Like, that's where I lean towards, like, man, I gotta get out of here. Like, my friends are, this drone business. I love drones. I'm gonna learn so much, and that's where I learned so much from Jay. Got closer with Jay, and now Jay, too much money. We just had to go our separate ways to find money. But now me and Mitchell, which is a buddy of mine, he started a car lot as 24 years old. Had a mentor, but I got to learn how to sell used cars. Dude, I literally, this is all because I'm just saying, let's try it and do it at a young age.
Right.
Saying, let's try it and do it. I started with Collabora, trying to look for financial analyst roles. And I was like, bro, if I was a financial analyst at Thrivent, that would be sweet. But my book of 300 isn't too big. And also, I feel like I'm stealing percentages from my mom or from my dad or from my cousin because I'm trying to sell them insurance, or I'm trying to, get a bundle of money, take a percentage off the top, even though I could just do that for free and teach them how to invest,
Right.
I can do all this for free. So I was like, can't do that. Went to a direction where, staffing firm, just got some money. Cool. Sounded like a fun environment to work in. Wasn't what I wanted to do. 6 months later, out. You know, you look at my resume, you're like, damn, this dude's going from boom, 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 boom. Like, can he ever settle? Like, is he ever gonna chill? I literally went from Collabora to the drone business. Did that for like 4 months. Coming the next year, you know, it broke apart. Whatever, that's okay. 80% of businesses fail. That's not really failed, but like the who's there isn't there anymore. Like Jay's running it more. I think Jay's the only one running F3 right now. But then tried that. Went to a car lot, did a car lot a little bit, you know, learned how to sell some cars, made an extra couple of dollars, learned how to change, you know, bearings, all this different. I changed my own brakes for the first time. You know, small things that like you learn in your everyday car, it's going to be important. So I was like, okay, that's kind of like good that, you know, I took some value from that. Went to Zoom Media. Zoom Media is a marketing. They basically do.
Not to be confused with Zoom.
Not Zoom. Zoom is just the platform where they, you know, you record video and go on. This Zoom Media is basically they on every Planet Fitness and LA Fitness they own like the big TVs in there.
Okay.
So you can like put you can put small businesses ads on there.
Right.
So I was a sales representative, just go out there
In
and
front of the like you're at your bar and you go to the bathroom and you know got the urinal.
kind of like that. Yeah.
The Zoom.
Kind of like that, but this was for LA Fitness and Planet Fitness.
Right.
Tried that for a little bit, maybe 3 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks later, I was just like, no, can't do this. And then like this is all really quick too, and also like I'm taking a hit on money. You know, I'm not worrying about money. I'm saying I can do it. I can still be able to work. That's where I tried the CBD store, learning about CBD, learning about just different things, keeping my brain always learning about random things. Of course, I can teach people about all of that, but like there's still opinions on it. But anyways, still learning, constantly learning. And now, you know, TikTok came out. I'm still working at the CBD store. Tried TikTok. This was something I just, out of the blue, I was like, let's go try it. You see my pattern where it's just, let's go try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Screw opinions. Screw what you're supposed to be doing by getting a 9-to-5 job and then, you know, making money, retiring at 65 with your 401k, all that just below average stuff, like not being happy. I don't think happiness follows with that. So then all avoiding that, and then now currently like, look, now look at where I am in the direction I took only a couple years out of college, when all I was doing at college was eating and playing football and worrying a little bit about school, but more just
That's
eating
amazing.
and playing football. You know, it's like crazy how many directions I took to get to where I am. And then this little platform's helping me do something I love to do, you know, build something that I'm passionate about, where 6 months to 2 years from now, I didn't expect any of this. You know, I didn't expect being on a podcast like this. I didn't expect my boys being able to build something like this and have this. So that's what it's like. It's cool where if you try new things and you just say kind of, you have the fuck it, you know, let's go mentality, things, you'll start figuring out yourself, and you start learning a lot more about yourself and who you are through all of the adversity, through all the failures, through all the different projects that you put yourself into. Like, you know, I didn't specifically have a project that I was focusing on a lot, meaning like, oh, I got an edit that I'm going to work on for a year and then post it out. I was more just like, I have this skill and here's a market. Let's see if I can try it here. I have a skill. Here's a market. Here's another market. Let's try, you know, the same skill
And
here.
keep practicing that.
And you keep
because
practicing.
You're gonna find that golden nugget. And I mean, you look back and see what people in previous generations, how they were like someone
How they were wired.
Someone just started selling sandwiches,
Yeah.
and they made their whole life running a deli shop selling sandwiches. You look at that now, and some people devalue it because it's so simple. Everyone makes sandwiches. All right, this guy had some tender love and care putting into those sandwiches, and he cared about it. Some people make a career being a doorman, and they're interacting with a full apartment building every single day, and that's their full-time job, and they've been doing that for years. They find value in it. Transfer it into TikTok, people look at it and they put it in some type of bucket where, you know, doorman, TikTok, they devalue it because they don't really see what you're actually doing and how you're actually interacting with someone and your internal gratification. So
Yeah, and how
keep putting that to the wayside. Keep putting those opinions to the burner, because your story that you just explained, you keep trying, you keep testing, and when you do find something, you go a little bit farther and you keep workshopping it, and you're able to live below your means right now.
Yeah, live at home and I'm 24. Did your dad live at home when he was 24? My dad was like out of the house when he was 20, you know? Like that, it's a different
vibe,
game. Dude. It's weird. I feel bad for my dad when I'm home, you know, because it's like this guy's still busting his ass for my ass and I'm 24 at home trying to figure out what I want to do in life. But like there's so much respect I have for him for doing that. But it's a different, you know, we're in a different society now where like that is getting comfortable. It is almost a norm where it's like, yeah, it's okay to live at home until you're 24, but we're still on the transition of it being okay. You know,
Right, yeah.
we're still on the transition of like needing college or not. You know, everything is just
Dude,
being
how
tested.
freaking cool is that though? Like we're on like it's not us maybe, or maybe it is. But
No,
like, we're on the leading edge of that movement specifically, where we're questioning whether college is even necessary, whether it's important to maybe stay at home just so you can find a passion. Like there's a different shift in level between like this like, oh, catch your dream life when you can afford it and you're 60 versus why don't you just try and find and catch your dream life now when you have no expenses and no kids and no anything, which is like exactly what the Gary Vee model is, and it's exactly what you're living out. But through this whole story, it's like, dude, you tried because you're ambitious, because you're curious, because you want to do all those things, and you had that fucking mentality. You went after all those things just to try it, and you took different things from each one of those different scenarios and put in your back pocket, and then you use those different things to simply find the passion and do. Like, how cool is it that you now know how to change brakes on a car?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'd save at least 20. Let's say the brakes are $15 to $30. I'm saving at least $100, $200 on labor because they can literally mark it up to
Sick,
whatever they want,
right?
or they could just add in. Yeah, you got a bearing that's out too. You got to change that. Yeah, I'm gonna fix it. Even though maybe the bearing wasn't quite out, you know. But like now you look at it and now I can see and like
You can.
wow, yeah, I can be
You
like,
can. I
and
can't.
Yeah,
You can.
yeah, I can listen to my car and be like, wow, that sounds terrible. I wonder if like the engine's on my, you know.
But not only that, like you
And
know
it's
that
weird that it's weird that I took, you know, it's not weird, but it's like a pat on my back for like good job for taking something out of something that, you know, wasn't
the
your
most out of
yeah,
it.
making the most out of it, taking the lesson out of it and putting it in your back pocket. You know, the lessons of the day. I kind of
Full circle, and I was just about to say that. As silly as you may look at those lessons of the day,
that's what's like
built your
literally built
comfortability in front of the
everything.
camera, which helped you do this, right?
it helped you reflect on some other things you did while you were working a used car salesman. You were working at
And I've never done that before either, too. You know.
Yeah.
It's like goofy. Like you get
Same.
nervous and scared. You're like, I don't know how to talk to this guy and sell a car. Like, I see all the rust and stuff. Like, you can't be that as a used car salesman. You know, you don't want to try to avoid that and whatnot. But then my honesty is like, yeah, I got a couple rust spots, but that's okay. Well, you don't want to ever say that. But I'm like, damn it, you know, next time work on that. You know, next time. But it's like I never would ever see I would need to use that, or I would never even notice that if I didn't put myself in that situation. And then you learn from that, and you're like, wow, that applies to others.
Right.
Other stuff in life.
You're putting yourself in uncomfortable situations.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. You said your average quality was looking in the camera and being yourself. So when you put yourself in these uncomfortable situations and you're doing it time and time again, what's in your back pocket? What are you using to overcome this stress, this anxiety? What's in your back pocket, Jackson?
What's in my back pocket at first was just keep moving forward. But in the end, it's breath. It's like breathing, and it's allowing yourself to be in this present moment is what I took out of everything that I've learned is allow yourself to sit in that present moment, take everything you can from it, learn from it, and then let's apply it to something else or move forward with it and just put it in your back pocket for later. You know, put that little quality or that little lesson of the day or that little, you know, experience you had to the side, know that it's there and keep moving forward and keep bettering and building your brain more and more through different experiences, different uncomfortable positions that you get put in, you know, uncomfortable situations that you get put in, and then start performing better, you know, hold yourself accountable to getting uncomfortable in those situations, but then hold yourself accountable, be like, I'm going to perform at my A game though, you know, instead of me being really awkward in front of the camera, you get the competitiveness, you know, you get the our confidence and our competitiveness from being a football player. I apply that to, you know, myself. Like, I need to get better at gaming. I need to get better in front of the camera. And then you're just like, each time you get yourself uncomfortable, you push yourself a little bit harder. You just add that little in there. and hold yourself a little accountable. You don't want to do it too much because then you start, wow, I'm actually gross in front of the camera. Because if I clearly looked from the Instagram photo or stories from the beginning and it was just like, wow, this is embarrassing. Why did I even post this? Now
Negativity doesn't win.
yeah, you're not going to win that. But, oh, this was good. This was a good thing about what I did. Next time I'm going to try this. This is a good thing. Let's try something, a little more flavorful. Let's also go look up other content and learn from that. Learn from how they're speaking. Learn from their energy. Learn from how they're like. You read books, how they're portraying their, comments that are coming off, their verbs, whatever it is, their words, anything, like how you just keep learning from different situations. So to wrap it all up, basically learn from every situation you're put into, because you never know what quality you'll be able to have in your back pocket later in life when some adversity hits and you're just like, bro, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I was a used car salesman way back then. Like,
I know how to fix your brakes.
Yeah, I know how to apply. Yeah, I know how to fix your brakes, or I know how to now, be nicer in a situation, or I can't think of an example right now, but you know what I'm saying?
You don't need an example.
Yeah,
it's exactly that though.
You just come back and you're just like, here's in my back pocket a quality that I can now. It's average, but I still am appreciative and I'm aware of it. So then you can always better at it, because you never know if you have average quality in your back pocket and you pull it out and that's your passion. And that's what you love to do.
Dude,
You never know.
He's got it.
You never
He's
know.
got it, dude.
Nailed
He's the
it.
face of our. He's the
Never
face of our
know.
brand.
Yeah.
That's how I run it, though. That's how I run it. Like, used car salesman, you never know if I'm going to, damn, I actually really love this job. Damn, I really love this job. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna what card you're going to be dealt or what card you deal. And, wow, I really love to do this. Like TikTok, really love to do this now. But who knows where I'll be at the end of the year? Who knows where, what direction I'll be. But as long as I have this quality chilling with me,
It's you.
You never
That's
know.
you
You
in your
never know
back
when
pocket.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be you.
That's really good. That's
Fuck
just
yeah.
like an. I think I just had I think you unlocked some just like a realization of where as we continue to navigate this life that we live, right? And as we change with the times and adapt and overcome and continue to have that kind of inner ambition, like those life experiences, those things that happen to you, those moments of time that you can always remember, like they have value.
They'll make a difference. And it's weird because at that point in time, you might not be like, yeah, this will
Hell
be.
no.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? But now you look back at it, sitting now, like me sitting now, just like, yep, that definitely helped me now. Yep, that came in value now, even though I had no idea it was going to become any value. But my mindset is to make sure you put it there,
Right.
because you never know what it's going to hit you in the face. For example, when you get run over by a car, like you never know when you got to get up and just keep going. I'm sure there's values in the past that I took just to keep going instead of just go home and cry, I swear my dad said something like, keep going, things like that. It's like, why at that moment why did I choose to keep going instead of go home? I would say, there's probably some past experiences where just confidence, self, the mindset I keep, what I keep reiterating myself, positive attitude,
yeah.
good vibes, all that, just keep reiterating that to myself. And then finally, it's like, oh, that's probably why I stayed in a good mood, didn't give a shit that my rollerblade was all messed up, and rollerbladed an extra 10 miles, around a whole entire lake. All because for TikTok. All because of TikTok. All because of passion. I found a passion, and I'm able to apply it to a situation that sucked, but then I'm able to still bring value to other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Maybe it's funny, maybe they enjoyed seeing my legs all cut up, blood, whatnot, and also
That's good for TikTok.
yeah.
Blood and gore is great for TikTok.
People were like, the most comment was like, "Can you show me all your bruises?" I'm like,
sure, I guess.
I'm in the kind of healed now, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, your boo-boos.
Yeah, my boo-boos. But yeah, in the end, man, just wrap it around. Just keep moving.
I got a question here for Marcus. So, Marcus, I know you pretty much don't know who the guest is before you show up. I know I add you to the calendar invite, and I don't.
Oh, yeah, he has
may
no
do
idea.
You may do your best to research. You may not. I have no idea. But knowing how I feel right now, which is, I've known Jackson since freshman year of college, and
Actually, wait. Do you have a different opinion on me now than you did when I was just this freshman guy, goofy ass dude in the locker room running around? Did you ever change your
of course, yeah.
opinion? Because that's always, I'm curious. Because, for example, sorry to interrupt.
No.
We played softball the other day, and I'm walking in, got my headband on because I have long hair. I don't know what to do with it. All my barber's closed. I don't know if I can even go to his house to do it. I don't know. So, headband, gotta wear it. I'm not gonna wear a hat. I just don't like hats. I want to get sun, whatever. Walk into the field, I just looked like the biggest tool, right? I didn't even have a bag. I didn't have anything. I was carrying my cleats. I had my headband on, and they're like, "What is this dude doing? Like, what the heck?" Like, that was the opinion on them. Also, I step on the field and
grand slam.
hitting
performance
pretty
speak for itself.
pretty well, and they're like, "Wow, okay, that's who he is." And funny side story, I go there and this girl's like, "I love your TikToks." I'm like, "You're like TikTok famous." And I'm like, I didn't even know these people are watching it. I didn't even know that this was going on, but they're enjoying it. I'm like, hell yeah, it just gets, makes you feel good. But that's a little side, remark of how, don't judge a book by its cover too soon. But also, I love having someone else. I love having a first opinion and a second opinion, and then hearing them because. The coach, I literally got recruited, bro, for a team after. He literally drafted me, technically. I'm on a co-ed team. He actually, said, yeah, you're on the team, the guy spots. You're on the co-ed team, but the guy spots are still, you probably run from the bench there. If there isn't an amount of guys there, you'll be in the outfield, running around, running laps and being a gazelle.
You walked in thinking you were a tool and you left drafted.
But yeah, kind of, yeah. But then I also love, throwing people off that way. Throwing, I think that's something I enjoy.
People wrong
almost proving people wrong, but yeah, just hey, just wait till you actually get to know me. I'm actually I'm goofy at first, but then I'm actually kind of just genuine in the end, stuff like that.
Well, I think from my standpoint,
that's why it's cool to hear.
I just kind of thought you were like a space cadet, you were just kind of all over the place. You played football. You were incredibly athletic. I don't know if you ever worked out or not, but knew you played a lot of video games. Knew you hung out with Matt Herron, and I was good friends with you. And I just kind of just got little bits and pieces of oh, this kid's really got a knack for something. I don't know what it is, but he's always talking about something that I'm interested in because it just seems future.
And it's random too. It's
so random.
It's
I just
random
remember,
as fuck.
It's just fun that I just remember conversations with you at the View or when we were eating after football practice and we could talk for hours on F3 and how you were just going up to Duluth and doing drone filming with Jay when we were sophomores in college. I remember those times.
And I was just passionate. Cool. You could see the passion in my eyes just being
always high energy.
Exactly. But
you're what is this dude? I don't even know this guy and he's coming at me like this.
That's why I love doing this kind of thing because there are probably plenty of people that tuned in because they're oh my God, let me hear what Jackson has to say on the Back Pocket. And then they're damn, did you hear what Jackson had to say on the Back Pocket? And that's the coolest part is there are going to be plenty of teammates, friends, acquaintances, etc. that will come in for the first time listening to your podcast, expecting something. And then on that second opinion at minute 30 are going to hear something totally opposite. And that's what I was asking with Marcus is Marcus, I don't know if you've never met this kid before.
No.
And I don't know what you expect when these podcasts show up on your calendar. And I'm just thankful that you show up. But I would just love to hear your experiences and stuff from this podcast because I know it's pretty applicable to you being a videographer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for me, I don't know anybody that's coming on the podcast, so it's always kind of a surprise when I do get those Google Calendar invites. Typically, the most research I do is I just Google the name, and whatever pops up, whatever the first thing that pops up is, that's what I know.
What'd you get?
For you, I saw your football career.
Yeah, just a Montevideo or UST. Sure.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what I saw, and that's kind of what I was going in with the mindset of. I was all right, we're gonna get a football player on. We're probably gonna talk about something, but I don't want to look too much into it, just because I like to come in with a open mind.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So coming into this one, this has kind of gone a very different direction from what I expected going in. Because when I came in here, I was expecting more of a conversation that we would typically have on the Yoakum Strength podcast, where it's very athletically focused. And now we've been talking a lot about growing a brand and sticking and doing things. And we've been really talking about things that are just in a complete other direction. So it's been a really cool experience kind of showing up, having an open mind and seeing where the conversation takes us.
Do you have more fun with that?
I
Do you
think
feel
I
like?
do.
Because it's
Yeah.
like it's literally like you're getting a curveball, and it's like, wow, I thought it was gonna be a fastball, and you're just
Mhm.
like, yep, here it comes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's more fun. It's more engaging for me. I can like sit here, listen to you talk, and then I can think about like things that are going on in my life and be like, all right, what's going on that I could apply here, right? Because for a lot of things, if we're gonna be talking about like athletic sports, I'm not a big athletic guy, so a lot of that stuff, I'll come do my thing, and like then at the end of the day, I'm done. Whereas like right now, we're talking about how to grow and how to like change and stick to something, and those are things that are always like applicable into not only my life but everybody's life. So yeah, having like an open mind coming into these kind of conversations without knowing anything is a really engaging way for me to get to know you guys and go forward from there.
Yeah, well, yeah. What I say, that's cool because like that's exactly what I try to do for people, is just to show them like, hey, I'm just like you, man. I'm just like you. Like it's cool to have a following and whatnot right now, but like before I didn't have a following, but like it's like I'm still going to the same situation you are in life, but we're just in different. We're just going taking different paths, taking different engineer, CBD, whatever, marketing. We're taking different paths. In the end, we're just humans. Trying to figure out what this society is and what life is going on right now. Yeah, like what I say when I shook his hand. What I say again, Andrew? Like, oh, I washed my hand or something like that. I was
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, because like I mean,
Did you wash
just
your hands?
super goofy. Like I don't think I washed my hands, but like I said it anyways. I didn't know what else to say, but like that's the first impression he got. It was just like this dude just told me he
Showing
washed
up
his
in a
hand.
coronavirus jersey with in the left hand has a full bottle of tequila, and in the right hand he's asking if you washed it or not.
If you wash your hands.
No, but I think that's that's why I asked that question, Mark, is because I'm like, I'm always I'm always super thankful when like someone like yourself is showing up where it's like, hey, we need you, man. Like we can't put
We
this
can't do this
podcast out
without you.
without you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, what can I do that can like provide you, Marcus, with more value? Like, what can I do where you win while you're here, where you're not just like monotonously tapping 1 2 1 2 as the conversation goes on, but you're actually engaged. And I don't know, I just felt that energy here. Just like, okay, like I was thinking of you. I was like, oh man, Marcus is probably getting a lot out of this. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that I hope that this guy who we didn't even know a couple months ago is now getting a lot of value out of this.
Yeah, we're throwing him into this uncomfortable situation.
Mm.
I don't know if you would say
Well,
you're
he might be
uncomfortable.
I tried making it a
but,
little more
like-
comfortable because like this Viggo Mortensen throne is
yeah,
highly uncomfortable after like 25 minutes. So I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna throw him a pillow. I'm gonna throw him like a little
Is it
back.
better than the blue lawn chair?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sweet.
definitely better than the blue launcher.
Okay, cool.
You're sitting
All right.
higher up. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Blue lawn chair. I feel like he would be like lower, right?
And it
I wouldn't be able to
squeaks.
see
It
him.
squeaks
And
every
it
time I get
squeaks?
up. Yeah.
Okay.
Every
cool.
time-
I just want to make sure, but I don't know, Mark. We always give you time to ask questions. Do you have any questions?
I don't
for-
have any questions. I was just gonna bounce off of that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
like
for
it's
sure.
kind of like a humbling experience, right? So like a year ago, I was in Maine. I was going to school in Maine. I
Really?
knew that I was going
Wow.
to be transferring to the University of Minnesota, but like a year ago today, when I checked my Snap memories, I was in Acadia, which is like in Bangor. It's way up there. And so yeah, I had no idea that I was going to be here. I didn't know that I was going to be producing podcasts. Didn't know what I was going to be doing. So it's kind of a really humbling experience. And then being able to come on and meet a ton of people, that's something that I didn't really do in high school. In high school, I had this mindset of I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to the East Coast. I was like determined that that was my plan. And I did it, and I'm really glad I did it. But when I came back here, I was like, all right, maybe this is time for me to start working on things that I really enjoy, things that I really want to start doing. And that requires me meeting people and talking to people. So when I came back, instead of going right back to my old part-time job, I started looking at internships for videography. That's where I met Austin. Austin eventually led me to you guys. And, a lot of the networking stuff has kind of rolled from there. So it's just kind of a really humbling experience to think about where we were a year ago, a month ago. And kind of, yeah.
Dude, that's so cool because like
It wraps
it was
with
so
us.
awesome when I think it was like literally right around this time last year we were hanging out with Yoakum, and he was like, dude, I just got this intern. He was touting you, bro. He's like, I've never had a kid care so much about like content and video content. And I'm like, damn, dude, we need one of those. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so funny. I mean, like, that's the coolest part about like this whole thing we call networking is like value in, value out. Like, you had a plan to to stay on the East Coast and that plan changed, but your plan of just like being a genuine human who wants to find like this fulfillment didn't change, right? And it led you to Yoakum. Yoakum gives us a good friend to friend referral, and when we needed you, we kept the idea of Marcus in our back pocket for a year. I mean, there were times where Yoakum would throw us in a group chat with you and was like, "Hey, can you help this kid learn how to produce a podcast?" And I was always just like, "Yeah, sure." His name's spelled Markus. I've never seen that before. Might as well give it a run at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But it came around when we needed you the most, and now look at us, right? I know a year out. That's crazy. I had no idea that you were in Maine a year ago. That's nuts.
Yeah, and like getting comfortable doing all of this is another thing, right? Like I have had a year to kind of work on this, and that's also kind of crazy to think about. But like meeting Austin for the first time, that was super nerve wracking, right? Because I had no idea what.
He's huge.
He's huge. Yeah,
He's huge, bro. That's
long
crazy.
ass hair too. You're just like
he's on another
Avatar.
level, right? Like you then came to us and you're like, oh, okay.
But I remember showing up and I was like in a full suit. I was like, I'm gonna present myself the best I can because I
Let's
want
go.
to land this internship. And Austin showed up. He was like in sandals and like shorts. And I was like,
When
okay.
did you show
like,
up in a suit? When was that? Because I remember
that
telling
was
us.
May. Like,
Bro,
that
that's
was
so
May.
funny.
Yeah. And so it's been a while. And then I remember working with him and then working with Mark and doing Anatomy Tuesdays. Eventually, we got to the point where both Mark and Austin were coming back on the podcast. And I remember coming to the Anatomy Tuesday after they had already recorded it. They were like, man, we had such a good conversation with the boys over at Backpocket. We really wish you were there. And then Austin's like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned you on the podcast. Like, we realized when we were recording that you should be there. And I was like, okay, like, cool. But like, meanwhile, we got like other things. I wasn't even really thinking about producing a podcast at that point. Like, I knew Austin had it on the side, but for me, it was just the Anatomy Tuesdays. I was working, and then I also had school. So podcasting was just not something on my like radar at all.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Ah, so
a
you're
few
the one
months
with
later.
were you behind the camera with the Anatomy Tuesdays?
Yeah, every
was.
single
Ah.
one. Every single one.
Could I watch those? Those are funny sometimes.
Yeah.
And I love seeing like Yoakum in front of a camera. Like you still gotta get
It
comfortable.
tested him.
You still gotta get comfortable, but like the progression, is there, and it's cool to see that because I'm comparing myself and seeing the same thing. Where's your compression or progression? Where's the progression? You see it, and it's cool to be like, damn, I went through the same thing. I have the same feelings. The same situation almost that they've gone through. Like a year ago, he was in Maine. A year ago, I was who knows. And
We're
We-
all
we don't
somewhere
know
that
what
we aren't.
you're
I
now.
don't know what I was doing, but like I was doing something different. It's like
Right.
but then he keeps making himself uncomfortable, and now look at where he's sitting too. He's like,
Right.
wow, look at I made myself comfortable, and now I'm comfortable, and look at how much like happier I am now being comfortable with something that I wasn't comfortable with.
Right, and I think one of the things too is like it's always nice, it's always great to be present, because if you're not present during the last year, you're not going to really be able to reflect with such happiness and gratitude from how far you've came, And I just think it's funny how like a lot of that has to do with just the idea that like there's so much gratitude in all of it, man. And I think it's just awesome how it's the ambition and the drive to just like do it every single day, right? Like if you were to describe to someone your day-to-day routine, but then reflect on that day-to-day routine from a year ago or throughout the whole year of you doing that, the mindset or the thought you have behind either of those are total opposites, right? Like my day today was a normal average day, and I do that every day, and I look forward to a podcast with Jackson or whatever's on my calendar, and I go and presently do those things. I don't think much of it when it's right in front of me, but when I look back a year from now and I'm like, wow, look at the body of work we did during season 4. Jackson Hole was one of those awesome ones that I remember, just like I remember everything that we did last year. It's like, wow, I don't realize how much fun I had until it's all done,
Yeah.
So it makes me kind of take on the present a little bit differently, right? I want to know that when I will look back at this 3 months from now, I'll be like, fuck, I miss that. I miss being in the studio with my boys right here, I miss that. So So what can I do now, knowing that I'm going to miss it, to make the most of it now? So that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like this idea of like the nostalgia behind everything is always fun, but sometimes we miss that during the present.
Mm-hmm. But what's cool is like we all bring up stories and situations where we're putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations. We're choosing those opportunities. We are taking action. We are producing podcasts, something that we've never done in the past. We're choosing to put ourselves in front of in front of the camera. That's all like our active choice, and not a lot of people do that. A lot of people are comfortable with what's going on, and they have belief that, you know, this comfortability in the long term is where I want to be. So I'm just like, I love hearing you guys articulate, you know, where you were a year ago and how it's helped you become who you are today. And it's only been a year, and we're sitting here. You're 24, Marcus. You're 21, 20.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What?
Yeah, and we're just having a conversation during.
He's only 20.
Yeah, and he's hustling. Yeah,
I'm always like, man, I don't wish I would have had it, but like, it's like good for you for starting now, you know? 'Cause like, bro, you got 4 years until like you're already thinking kind of like what we're, you know, thinking, like, man, like already a step ahead. Like that's what's really cool, is like, you know, that's what's cool, is seeing that, like what you're saying.
Right. And lo and behold, like there's this whole chaos going around us with the pandemic, and we are trying to play our role in this. What will that be? How will we utilize that? People are being complacent right now in certain ways. People are choosing to utilize this opportunity for internal reflection. People are utilizing this opportunity to find financial gain. There's so many different opportunities out there. And
yeah, like how many times have you drove past someone's house and they're out in the yard fixing their like tulips or whatnot? I've when I go home, I see that all the time. You know, that's what they're utilizing. This is what the dads, the moms, or whoever is like, this is the yard work we can do now. This is what we're going to focus on. You know, this is something we can do, what we have to do and whatnot. But, you know, it's just interesting because in the end, like we were all like, once you get too comfortable with something, it's almost like too repetitive. Then you start becoming unhappy. It's weird. It's like weird.
You ever think about like
that.
vacation? The idea of vacation.
Yeah.
Go to some beautiful, comfortable, sandy beach and lay there and just do it, you know? It's so fun. Like, there are obviously incredible positive times, and obviously look at your vacation where you're going to get the most gratitude and happiness, but there's a reason why vacation only lasts a week.
Yeah, and after 1 week or after even a couple days, you're like, damn, the same problems that I had back there are kind of like
still
still existing now, you know? But like, I'm just in a nicer place. But then you look at it, you're like, oh, how can I become more grateful for that opportunity then? Like, how can I make that the most out of that? You know, let's say we only have a week. Let's figure out what we can do or what thought process we can have to actually be able to go to that week and be like, damn, that felt like a long-ass week, man. Like, what activities you have to do, what thought process you have to do, you know, what you know, vibes you're taking in or whatever it may be. But, like, you know, that's what's scary about going on vacation, because like coming back is always a depression, always type of a weird, goofy feeling going back home when you were just like, oh, I was in paradise.
Yeah. Don't you think
create that paradise in your brain? It's called visualization.
Ooh. I do think there's
also called
a
meditation.
certain aspect to that too, because it's like I kind of think about that as from like a quarantine standpoint, where it's like now we're kind of comfortable. You know, it's been 40 days. It's been over a month where we're now into a routine that's like pretty typical. And
I can agree to, like, yeah, I definitely have a routine going on.
I definitely have a routine. I'm definitely
comfortable,
stoked about it. I'm pretty comfortable. But there's, I mean, always, as if you're aware of that, you're gonna find more ways to challenge yourself, make yourself struggle. That kind of rigmarole. But like, it's just gonna be funny to come back and look back and be like, dang, I wish. We're definitely going to say at some point down the road where we're just gonna be like, damn, I wish I had one day in quarantine left.
And that's what, and you're only going to be able to see that if you are becoming aware of it and noticing that
awareness
in the present
is everything
right now.
Man.
Yeah,
awareness is everything.
And being in the present and just being like, that's why it's important. Like I said, breath. The only reason I said breath was because when it comes to like pressure situations and stuff like that, present moment, yeah, kind of, but breath relaxing you. But in the end, like that present moment can also give you gratitude, can also give you happiness, can also give you a lesson because you're in that moment and you dissected it and you figured out how can I make the most out of it, or like because of the thought process you had, or how can I allow this situation that I just had to make me feel better about myself, or even just to take a lesson from it, even if it was something that was terrible that happened to you. You always like you look at that and you're like, I'm going to sit in the present moment. Let's just figure it out. Let's just not put it to a side and let's see what happens. Let's see how I can, better myself from that. And that's just, I feel like that's just allowing yourself to be in the present. And you be in the present by cold showers. You be in the present by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations because you're going to be thinking about that at that time. You're going to be working on that because you have you're not going to be sitting around not doing anything and being able to daydream. No, you're in action you're action packed, you're going right now. It's hot, we just took off the races. You got to perform, you got to figure out how to make the most out of this situation. And if you don't, that's where life can get a little bit difficult because these situations might seem like they're popping up every single time, even though you look back at it, you're being like, that situation would have not happened ever if I would have just sat down, sat in the present moment and figured out what went wrong or figured out what went right.
Yeah.
I could be that much farther than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a maturity thing. I don't know what that is, but like that's something that's a good perspective to see. That's why I love you guys have the present moment. That's why I love how you guys do the cold waters, like cold showers. I sent you that Wim Hof method app.
Yeah.
It's like you start with 15 seconds. Bro, you can do 15 seconds so easily, And like I turn it all the way cold and I'm sitting there 15 seconds. Today was 30. Just kind of easy things. But doing that, it's weird. No one thinks it's going to help you. Everyone's like, oh, that's just uncomfortable. That's not going to make me feel better. That's not going to do anything for me. Actually, you're supposed to do it before. You're supposed to do it when you wake up to wake yourself up. And you're supposed to do it before you go to bed. Weird as that, but somehow it's good for you before you go to bed. You get a better night's sleep. And you're just like, weird how an uncomfortable activity can allow me to make me feel better and happier. And it's a task that I do every single day by taking a shower. All I got to do is turn it cold and my anxiety might go away. Or I might not be worried all the time, Like I might be able to perform better instead of next time being able to have the situation come up again and have to deal with that situation again and again and again and again. And then you just are like, and then you just go down the wrong path, But
do you think it like has to do with the idea that like you're worrying about being cold and like you have to worry about being cold because you're about to step in the cold shower or about to jump in the water? Whereas like if you never did that and if you continually never do that, you start to worry about the things that don't necessarily matter or aren't necessarily right in front of you. And because you're actively worrying about other things when you go in the cold shower or go in the water, that
makes it worse.
It just puts a perspective of the worry level. You're like, damn, I was scared as shit waking up at 5 a.m., sprinting out of my house shirtless in 30-degree weather.
I saw that. I was happy as hell when you did that. I actually got jealous that he was up at 5 because I woke up at like 3 that day. And I was like, damn, this guy's grinding that. And I guarantee you, this man feels like $1 billion right now after that cold water.
It felt like $1 billion after I did it, but shit you not. I woke up to my alarm. I had a fucking dream that I changed my alarm to 6 a.m. because it was too cold outside to go, and then I didn't need to go anymore. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, I got time to go to work. And I was like, wait a second, it's 5 a.m. And I sat in my bed, pondering whether or not it was smart for me to go and jump in the lake today. And I literally was just sitting there like super tired, fading in and out. I always hit stop and not snooze, so I knew like I had to like be active about this. And I was like, this sucks. Like I don't want to do this right now. Like the last thing I want to do just waking up at 5 a.m. is go and run with my shirt off
in the cold
into the cold water and sit there for 25 minutes.
And that's what's beautiful about doing it after. People
after I did, I was like,
yeah,
best decision I've ever made.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do it every week.
That's what's crazy about like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it at all. But then you look at it as that like short term, but then you got to look at it as in like a perspective that's going to make yourself better. Yes, it's going to be cold and suck ass, but in the end, just a few moments later, you're going to feel like $100 and you're going to perform better in your workday. You're gonna perform better in activities that you do, or writing a paper or whatever it is. You're gonna perform better because you sacrificed a couple minutes to really hate yourself. You like grind it out and really have to focus. But then all of a sudden everything is easier after. It's weird because people avoid that little time that they have to do to grind.
It's literally
And then-
2 minutes.
yeah.
It's literally 2 minutes while your body numbs and you're like taking these deep breaths, like holy fuck,
And
I'm
yeah,
cold.
It's sometimes it's even less than that. 45 seconds.
Yeah, and now that the water's warmer, you're right. It is probably like 45 to a minute. And after that, you're like sitting in the water. I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm the only one in the water in the middle of Lake the Isles, and I just get to watch the sunrise. This is dope. Like
No.
I'm here for 25 minutes. Like
Yeah.
I'm just
Right in
hanging
the
out.
present moment. The present moment just literally
It's
triggers,
beautiful.
and then now this man is just way happier. His gratitude is going through the roof. He just enjoys his time there, all because of 2 minutes of just hell, of just grinding through, being really, really cold. That's just one little activity you can do just to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and then be able to have a result that you'll be able to perform in anything you do after it.
Yeah.
Like again, like did you have any experience that day where you felt better about that, or was your day like better than
Oh,
other
for
days
sure.
when you're waking up? Like I know that I can notice when I don't take a cold shower, or if I don't just breathe and meditate for a little bit, that like I'm fogged up, or I just don't feel like I'm on my A game. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I mean, I felt just like charged up after it, and I was like, shit, I didn't really capture very good content during this, so I might as well like film a video and send it to our group chat between me, Andrew, and his dad, because he always sends us stuff, so I might as well start firing stuff back. And on my run home, I just filmed a video of me running.
And that's all you needed too. And he came in clutch too. In that time that you recorded it, you said the right things, you came in clutch, and now you have something to post off of something that if you didn't post, it would have been kind of
it would have been fulfilling.
Yeah, it's just more fulfilling that you got this, captured. You captured this footage based off your practice, based off what you did really good at, and you're able to do that, but then also enjoy the present moment while you're there. It's not like you had your phone in the water, going like this, right? Like you weren't capturing it, but then you're able to sit in the present moment, enjoy the sunrise, but then also capture, something right after and say, yep, look at this. Like, this is what I did. This is the lesson I learned.
Yeah.
This is how I feel.
You're
now-
describing
and-
exactly
yeah.
what it is.
And now I get to take something out of it, and I was like, damn, I'm jealous that he's up that early because I know that man feels like $100 after. And then I know that he's gonna perform better than me that day. Whatever it is, whatever we have to do. So it's like, I don't know. It's like this podcast is all talking about being uncomfortable the whole time, almost. Like,
That's
I don't
are we
know,
like
yeah,
the most
well,
uncomfortable group here?
even though
or
we're
so?
sitting on these comfy ass chairs,
Yeah.
drinking tequila, and having a blast.
Yeah, I'm
I was just
cozy.
thinking how my hips are uncomfortable. 'Cause
That's
they're
why I just
tight and
stretched.
shit.
Yeah, I was just saying I just stretched my hips.
I was uncomfortable earlier. I had to go to the bathroom, dude. This is the first
Yeah.
bathroom break of season 4.
I know. I capitalize on that too,
Yeah,
man.
I have to. That's why you have a co-host. I think that's always like the most important thing
Yeah.
to mention is like
I'm gonna slouch now.
you really this is how you know like difference between like
All right, I'm gonna stretch
minute
that.
1 and minute like what are we at now, Marcus?
We are at 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Oh
God
my
damn
God,
it.
Hey, who else do you want to see on this show?
Yeah. Who do
Who else do I want to see?
Yeah. Who do you want us to get on the podcast?
Who do you challenge us with?
Who do you want?
I don't know. This is the question we're
Yeah.
asking you.
Who and
Don't
who,
respond with that.
Yeah, but you guys
question.
vibe always differently with people.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Who do I want?
Yeah. Who do you want to
Who,
like if
who
we
do
had
you think would be awesome on the back pocket? They could be some big name that you don't think is possible. It could be your neighbor. It could be your best friend. Who do you want to see on the show?
His name is Mitchell Vanelli. He has a story of he kind of went through the F3 situation with me too, but it might be a different view. He's the guy that I did the car lot with too as well. So he's selling cars and he's only 24. He's my age. He built a brand called the Minnesotan. It's over in Minnesota. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
the Minnesota,
The
one
Minnesotan?
that's in
White
Jay
Bear?
did
In
yeah,
White Bear?
yeah. Jay did a few videos of that.
Oh
he,
wait,
He didn't. Is
What's
he
his
part
name?
of
Mitchell?
it or
he sold a lot of hats. He helped build he helped get recognition to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like he was like a social media influencer, kind of like that.
Oh, sweet.
So like
Okay.
sold a shit ton in Duluth. That's where he went.
Cool.
Knows
We've been
J-
talking with the guy who started it.
Knows Jay. You talking to the Minnesotan?
Corey, yeah.
Yeah, you should talk to Mitch. That would be perfect because then now you know Corey and Mitch, and then Mitch will tell you all about it.
And Jay and you.
And yeah, so then they
The
can.
Mott crew. We're circling
That's
Mott.
the Mott. You literally are, and that's why I probably told him because you know,
Michael Jordan.
yeah,
Unreal.
White Bear, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's White Bear.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he knows how to make a sweet ass brand.
mhm.
Jay did a video with him too, and it's
Yep.
like, yeah, I think he would be good because he knows how to talk. He's got a good voice too, deep voice, and we're like, yeah,
Jack,
good-
yeah, like
like-
Jack, like
yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Peter.
the-
Peter.
Yeah.
like he's got a good voice where you know you would like to listen to it, and
Sweet.
then and you know and he knows how to talk. He likes sports, whatever.
Sweet.
I'll
Sounds
put
like
I'll
our
put a
guy.
little. I'll help you guys
say,
out.
Say less.
Yeah, I'll help you guys out with any information you need, but you know I think that might be a good one.
Sweet.
I don't know what's gonna
Hey,
top
challenge
this one,
accepted.
though.
Challenge accepted. We'll
Challenge
absolutely hit
accepted.
that. And we'll finish with one final question to close out this amazing 2-hour and 20-minute podcast. Which, by the way, I just love being able to scroll through our podcast and be like, "Damn, we're putting out hours of content." Like everybody that we put like have podcasts with are almost always 2 hours now, which is crazy. Even
That's
people
a
that
lot
we-
of content too to be able to be like, "Ooh, this was a good part. Ooh, this is an awkward
Oh,
part."
dude,
like,
there's
"Ooh,
all
this
kinds
was,
of
this is a
stuff.
funny ass part.
So
Like,
much meat.
yeah.
so
This
much
guy
meat.
talked way too long this time. You know, shit like that.
No, but there. I
That
mean,
never happens.
that never happens. No way.
When I'm on the show, yeah, there's some rambling going on.
But it's your podcast. It's titled Jackson Hole. You know, I
Jackson
hope
Hole
you would
Rambles.
talk during that podcast. Not
just
me.
doesn't stop talking.
What did you learn today?
So basically, what I learned today is a lot about myself. What direction I should focus on. That you know, the people you surround yourself with are gonna be really influenced. Like help you, you know, get to where you want to be. I learned, you know, being grateful, just a typical thing. Gratitude is like, and also always a big thing. I'm grateful for this situation to allow me to point myself in a direction where I'm gonna learn and grow from. Learned, you know, like I said, being uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable getting into this podcast right away. You know, you get the little jitters and whatnot. Then after the end of it, you know, you forget the cameras are there. Totally forgot he was still here. You know, you get in the zone.
As he points to Marcus.
You get in the zone and you're in the present moment, and then you just like in the end you just like enjoy that time with, and you respect it, and you're just grateful for this situation or this, you know, environment and this, you know, podcast that I was being able to put on. So in the end, to wrap it all up, what I learned was to put yourself into uncomfortable positions because you never know when you might need it in your back pocket later as a quality that you could use and maybe find a passion through it.
Hell
Bingo,
yeah.
dude.
You know what the best part about all of this is? So you can listen to this whenever you want. Whether you're 45, 55, 65, 125, doesn't matter. This will always be out there forever. And some people get scared with that, right? But look at it as a positive, man. This is
Yeah.
a pivotal moment, and we're capturing that. And I'm just super thankful that we were all able to spend that time during COVID, during this weird time, during this time of, you know, we're all 24 trying to figure out life.
Yeah,
What
like,
an
what is
awesome,
going on?
what an
Yeah.
awesome time to be able to look back on at some point later down the road. You crushed, man. I absolutely love you, Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. That was fun.
That's a wrap.
Let's go, baby. You're the man, Jackson. That was fucking sweet, dude.
That was fun. I'm sweating a little bit. I don't know. You get